So there we are on to day 2, game 7, and the drop phase is very much in progress. It is going to fly straight over the top of military base Sosnovka, straight up towards the bay of Georgipol, which of course will cause problems for teams that have to go into the east. Now, Larson, you're one of the players, and welcome to South George. Obviously, you're always in South George, but even if the plane goes far over on the eastern side, you'll always make a way over there. What is it that drives these teams just to make sure you're in the same spot? Because I know the American teams do tend to adjust based on the flight path.
I mean, for me and the team, it's just important that you have enough resources to actually get through the game. This means that you have at least around 3 decent vehicles. You don't want to be stuck up with buggies or 3-seaters. Luckily, they're not on this client, but when you play some of the online leagues, there's still 3-seaters. You don't want to end up with those. And you also want to have decent body armor, meds, and a few scopes. And if you loot random places, if you choose to take a small compound or drop around stealth or whatever, a little bit cleaned up, and then you won't have all the tools you necessarily need to perform good in a game.
But for example, let's use Wildcard's position right now. They're in the Tempo Storm drop, what's known as, right? They went and won at WSOE just the other week. You know, went and did really well there. They're a West Coast loot. They go spread looting. That's not a compound. They're not a city they're going into, but they still managed to win.
True. I mean, it's their first win. They've had very... I don't want to take anything away from Temperstorm, but they have very mixed performances. But I don't know. I mean, the loot didn't matter that much. It's like what I said. You want to make sure you have enough vehicles, enough to loot, and doing a split is fine. I mean, you can see that they actually take almost up like a good portion of the map, 4 or 5 different squares.
Well, the circle comes in. You see FaZe Clan highlighted, and the circle has gone very much favourable to FaZe Clan. FaZe Clan themselves, by the way, dropped in an interesting spot. They went down to Nova, where M19 are as well, which is why we see them all on the boat here. All 4 members of FaZe Clan in that boat. Very risky in itself, making their way up towards military power. Of course, you can see the circle did come in that direction. Kramer and Drayden just both nailed Survivor. Ex-teammate just getting run over by a car.
I'm sure that feels good for them. One thing I want to point out is nobody landed in Novo yesterday. M19, they always been landing in Yasnaya with Liquid.
They did.
And maybe FaZe Clan did the research, right, and assumed that nobody would be in Novo this game.
Well, I think M19 may have done a bit of prep, because remember they did Yasnaya a bunch of times, and then they did one drop over in North George.
Okay.
Which I believe, from what I've heard, is from what Toffee's heard actually. No, Froz, sorry, was the man that was doing the research. He was talking about one of the players basically said, look, we're dropping here, and bailed out. Yeah. And it was like, okay, the rest of the team was like, all right, I guess we're going there. This time, of course, we were talking about it all yesterday. Nobody had been going Novo. There's very good loot there. Sadicus and Martin were very much talking about that. And obviously, they may have looked at the VODs. I know a lot of the teams have, because I saw Gustav giving Fuzzface some grief about greedy loot positioning, or greedy positioning, basically taking too much real estate yourself, you know, too separated, because it's something that Fuzzface had given Lumbermill a grilling for in the past. So he was like, I can't really repeat it on air, but he was basically saying, you guys are guilty of that yesterday. So a lot of these teams would have gone back to their hotels, check the VODs, check the replays, check positioning, and just really seeing, obviously, where people are starting. I mean, what do you do when you VODs? What are you looking for? You're looking for, like, start positions, and then I guess you, like, flick through to maybe check a couple of the rotations, and then really looking at end situations, how people are playing it.
Personally, when I watch VODs, I don't look at what any other teams do. I look at what we do wrong and what we can do best as a team, because everything is different every game. I mean, you know a few spots that teams might play, but they don't play every game. So whenever you VODs, I look at my team and see what mistakes we do in the game, and then improve on those. I feel like if you try to think too much about what other people do, you overcomplicate things way more. You
got too much going on in your head.
Yeah, I feel like when you have a game plan, right, you need to focus on your own game and just do the same, and maybe do it a little bit different. So you just watch yourself. That's what I do whenever we watch. And I mean, the landing spot, we always land in South George. We know where to get cars and all that stuff. But I just feel like if you try to look at other teams and copy them, you kind of ruin your own playstyle in some sense.
Overcomplicate it, maybe.
Yeah, you overcomplicate it, and you don't really want to copy anyone else when you have a good thing going yourself.
Exactly. And you guys have a pretty good thing going right now.
We have a pretty good thing going.
just waiting for that organisation to step in and say, hey, these guys won 3rd place in both TPP and FBP. Just throw any tournament at them, they get 3rd place. It's all good. Let's look at the Lions. I can see Chris making a very, very early rotation. The rest of his team were in Rozhok, of course.
That's something we typically saw from Miramar yesterday. Chris would always be the guy moving alone super early. and taking a spot for the team.
And he's actually gone to, it's the, I would say the standard pull-up place that used to be for Shadow, actually. You remember Team Secret always used to camp out Vitality in that spot. He's gone into that, his little Harry Potter, and there's a garage just below it. Just north of Milta. Moonwolf, of course, in Milta. We're seeing the rest of Lions here going down, obviously, so he's scouted that spot. It is fairly central circle, actually, pretty much on the point if you to put a pin in the middle of the circle. So you can see Chris there right in the middle of the circle. He's got himself a decent spot.
If you look at the road, it's just a direct road directly from Rostock and the rest of the team, so they have an easy access to him. And I mean, the other teams know this, but we can see there's nobody gatekeeping it.
Yeah, he's got himself in a good spot. You can see Team Gates obviously went into apartments and school, and they're taking a couple of shots as Lions pass on by out of Rostock, going one by one, very static. Ghost already coming out of Pachinki as well. You can see Nova slowly rolling the way down out of South Georgia as well. And it looks like Wildcard have actually grouped up pretty early on for the rotate as well. I'm interested to see what Vitality do, because Yannick is actually over the West Bridge right now, along with, I think it's Uber that's over there from Navi as well. So two players near each other. While the rest of Sosnovka, it does look like Vitality are looking to rotate out of West Bridge. I can see Jazz is driving that way in the car.
Up.
They're split 2-2. Yeah. They're going East and West Bridge.
That's an interesting approach. I mean, I haven't landed in the military, but I don't understand why you would split up this early in the game. Maybe they're like, okay, we're going to try to get the spot in the east and a spot in the west, and then it doesn't really matter where it swings. We're going to be in two strong spots, but
I do feel
there's one thing I really disagree with, and it's when you do splits, you need to be able to regroup later on, and you need to be able to have easy access to each other. And when you do two far sides of the maps, and you have to go through the center, I mean, we've seen the map a little bit. The center's always completely packed, and it's going to be really hard for them to regroup later on.
Yeah, I mean, if you were to look at the two positions, East-West Bridge, obviously you can go along the coastline, but at the moment, Moonwolf have very much taken sort of the garage position just over the East Bridge. So the Vitality guys, they've got M19 nearby at the crossroads as well. Looks like Vitality are going to stick there. So I think what they're doing is maybe looking at a potential chance that it swings south on the circle, next second circle, and it does go Sosnovka, keeps it safe. Could even go for a bridge camp. They're going over the bridge right now. Here comes Ghost, though. They're working their way in, getting very close to where the Lions were. Nova also, you can see just above them on the mini-map, also working their way across. Looks like they're going to post themselves up on the top of this hill. It's a fairly standard spot up here, just near the shack that's on the top there.
There you go, sees Lust drive past, takes a few shots but misses everything. Oh, he actually gets out of the spot. I don't know if he lost a tire. He gets taken down to half HP, and you can see Team Gates. Then a 4v1, they want this kill.
The rest of his team are quite far away as well, trying to offer some long-range shots. You can see the shots just rattling through a little bit, but Loss is in trouble. He's going to get caught out. Silo will manage to knock him down, and Mossy finishes off first kill of the game. In terms of shots, of course, we did already see poor old Survivor getting run over earlier by his ex-teammates at Knights.
You see the last few teams, they're starting to get in the circle. Thick and Fast is slowly making a win. Actually, one more from Nova gets taken down by Team Gates.
Yeah, Interrogate down.
He's going to get finished off here. Nova off to a really, really bad start.
And he's got nowhere to crawl. He's got nowhere to get away from that one. Interrogate goes down. Nova down 2 players in phase 1. That is a tough old call. You want to be getting into like
these are mistakes you cannot make.
Circle 4 or 5. You want 4 players, right? Surely when you get into like circle 4.
Like you have to rotate as a team. Drive 4 close to each other. Maybe have one ahead that can scout a little bit, and not be cut off one by one off guard. That's rough start for Nova.
A rough old start. Dignitas making the way down from the north. Of course, they go Severny way, so they're coming right down past Yasnaya. Team Gates, you can see in Ghost there on the screen. Set to destroy. They were over toward Libovka and sort of north way along that coastline. So everybody else kind of making the way in. M19 looking like they're going to choose to stick in Novo, stay on the south side. Wildcard working their way in. Of course, they've been west coast as well, so they're coming across. Navi playing edge as you would expect. The only guy who's left really well outside the circle is Sangala, still in Georgipol.
It's a tense we've seen for them. They apparently, maybe, do you think they could have been watching the old TSM where they used to stay in Georgipol for the blue a long time and then come in late?
Is it a good team to watch these days, Larson? Can we say that with AIM still on the desk?
I haven't seen many other teams do it.
No, it's true. It's true. They were, I guess you could say, the original team that played the late edge circle,
in the
right?
beginning, it did work out.
It made
well
a lot of sense early on, yeah. And I mean, Navi are technically doing it. You can see Pokemon is moving closer in just to try and get a better angle. Teams tend to go for the 2-2, at least a close 2-2 these days, just to give yourself a bit of cover. Like, look at Faceland, for example. You've got 2 over towards the sort of mill to power way, 2 at the lumber area. So there's 2 giving themselves a decent east-west, obviously off-center. To go into center right now would be pretty much suicide. Teamgate's actually maybe getting a little close to Ghost there. Ballox took a bit of a hit from them, though. Mortify working his way in. Look at the nice flank coming out from Exco.
Yeah, and Ghost, they're split here. They have 2 people off to the east at the Wizard Tower, but if Ballox and Puff gets knocked here, it's going to be very hard for them to get them back up.
He's managed to back away. Exco still on the flank, trying to get around. You can see in the distance, McCoy and Turtle, as you mentioned, they're quite a distance away from this. So Balak can continue to back away. Profi backing away. They might be able to catch them on the evac here. Exco, did he just get a peek on Profi's head there? Balak is very much backed away. Now they have the problem, right? They're going to have to use the trees for cover as they go down the hill because Team Gates, they're moving in a net formation. Mortify is going to creep his way up. Really nice flanking coming out from these guys. They had a terrible performance yesterday.
Ghost and Balak did go into, Profi and Balak did. Yeah, Profi and Balak went into position where his teammates could help him, and they're opting to get away.
And look at the support. You got McCoy and Turtle now in the back.
When they were playing on the ridge, they were completely fine.
Yeah, Mossy's just took a bit of a tap there, I think, from Turtle, a bit of a love tap as he's like, okay, you're not going to step any closer on that hillside. You can see a couple more shots just rattling through. Probably won't be able to finish off anything if they did get a knock. Now, Sangal just coming into the circle. They're going to be way, way up in the outside of just coming through Rozok. So everybody into the first circle. Let's see where the adjustments go. I like Set to Destroy's path. They've got a clean run down that coast. And you know what? M19's gamble has paid off.
I wanted to point this out earlier and saying there's no way there's going to be enough circle down south that it could actually turn south. Because on the 4th string, we have the 1.0 land ratio. But this might get interesting. So I don't think it's going to go south, but there's a small chance now.
So this is obviously only Circle 2, right? So obviously it's still a big old landmass, but that is a lot of teams in the northern side that were gambling on that. Now, Circle 4 comes. Obviously, we've got 2 more phases to go before we get there. It will pull away from water. We saw it yesterday, end around the farm area just south of farm. Looking like it might go that way again. But if it swings south now, we know it's going to be a Sosnovka, and that is going to be a bloodbath. Everybody's going to have to just go blue, tank the blue, go west bridge.
And just because there's only one team in the south, like we're seeing in the north, everybody's going to run into each other. You see Chris takes down Mortify already.
Yeah, that's a Team Gates member going down there, trying to rotate. It is getting so clustered on the map right now. Everybody's trying to move in. Just look at that northern area of Erengal's mainland. That is so crazy. Team Gates are just trying to blast it through. That is a risk. Look how many shots are coming their way. They are the big old dark blue dots trying to make their way through. Moonwolf got himself set up. They've already got a teammate in there. Silo's the man that's managed to get himself in, but they're losing Mossy as well. They've lost 2 in this rotation alone. Vitality in the end will steal the kill away there. They do get themselves in, Exco and Silo, but they have lost 2 already. Moonwolf, maybe that's a little greedy split for them now at this stage.
Do you think he crashed, or was it a mistake? He didn't finish him off, but there's a little team camp coming in there.
Well, Sangala trying to do the same. They're blasting the way and reverse it in the end there. Shadow got them nearby. He's going to have to pop the nade out the side.
They don't know about Monkey.
He's got his teammate right outside. Yeah, Monkey's there. Sharp Shot gets himself one. Sangal does reply. He gets Monkey down. Monkey being lost. That's a big old loss because Shadow is on his own. Yeah. Shadow's on his own in that building now, so he's got 2 stories. He's managed to get 2 down. Pride, actually, is the one that's doing the work. It's Wildcard from the building on the south of your screen here that are doing the damage to Sangal and saving Shadow's life because his teammates are off in the other house.
I want to see his teammates actually come and help him now, because when they come out across the street, they can probably see them, but I don't see Vitality helping out Shadow enough at this point.
Ghost and Liquid trading blows. Wildcard trying to catch them off. You can see Ghost now with 2 members down. Wildcard also putting the damage onto Sangal, but Scoom is down right now. The revive coming through. Big flank coming out of Liquid there. You can see, I think it was Ibby that was on the rotate there, really forcing them to go away. It's Samty actually, tell a lie, and he's going to finish off McCoy. Ghost losing 2 members in that rotate.
Yeah, this is something Ghost has done a lot, where they send one guy into the site and then play with 3. And this time around, you can say it didn't pay out.
Yannick, what?
They have been team killing it. What?
Yannick, that's your ex-rogue, mate.
Okay, I think he must have crashed because he knocked him earlier, then revived him, and now he
said it
knocked
looked
him
like
again.
he was down, yeah.
Because he did knock him once. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, because he couldn't drop his med, so he's had to knock him out there. So that's a problem. So Yannick,
Shadow actually left the compound.
He's not just falling out with his Northern Irish teammate there. He has actually done it for a reason, so he can get the meds off him, etc.
Definitely.
At the moment, couldn't obviously rejoin. Knights, look at the swing they've made, right? They've gone all the way around Mill to Power, and they've actually come in on the ledge, which is actually a good own choice.
One thing you can notice here is Kramer, he went for a boat. In case he goes south, they're already prepared one boat. So they drove out of the circle, made sure they have a boat, and now drove back to the routine.
Balak's making a bit of a ballsy run here, trying to get across. It's not going to work out. Vehicle taken down. Udir's going to be the man that will get the knock and the kill as he is exploded. Sangal lighting him up there. Shadow actually did very well. Look at it. He managed to get across the road, out of the house, and sort of get into the ditch. So he's managed to keep himself safe. Circle getting close to contracting for the third phase. Phase themselves inside Milter, fairly comfortable, set to destroy. Snake is taking a couple of shots towards Fuzzface there as he desperately tries to rally that Dacia across the beach.
But north.
Let's see, where's he going to go? Is he going to go north? It is going to go north. Okay, there we go. So now we know where it's going. It's actually going to be a similar circle finish to what we had in game number 6 yesterday. Where basically Moonwolf's compound that they are now in is about to get pushed. The Lions are going straight in towards them. FaZe are taking shots towards them, but they've just crashed around the side. And he hops out the window. This is dangerous play. Doesn't manage to land the shot. Does get the knock onto Sonic as he comes around the side. The rest of Moonwolf have to try and give him the support. They had the same thing happen to them yesterday. This time, they're not letting it play out. There is one just below. He's going to try and underhand that nade and bounce it off the wall. This could work out well. He's actually thinking he's in the other side. It's worked out. He's bounced off the ledge. It got him. Oh, it was to tell a lie. It wasn't Andy that got it. It was O'Connell in the end. His nade that managed to work out for him. But either way, it pays off. Washout's nade comes in. Chris gets caught out as well around the side there. And the Lions... Rezo, the last man standing, I believe, for them. I can't see anyone else around the side. Azriel's going to try and get the revive on Sonics.
I want to see Moonwolf push on this. They know they're down to 2. They have to make a play on this.
Meanwhile, you can see Sangal, they're making a push on Wildcard as well. They were close to one another's compound as well, so they're trying to get in there. But O'Connell, can he get a little peek through the smoke? Can't vault, of course, because the windows are blocked out there. Oh, Jempty's got involved. He's managed to catch Sonic's out. What is going on? Moonwolf!
What is happening?
Oh, it's the smoke. Okay, it's the spectator. We sometimes get it like that, but if Sonics gets taken down by FaZe there, he's backed out the house, realized somebody has gone in the house with him. Lions somehow have kept Azriel and Rezu alive in this one. Moonwolf, they can't push it because if they go around the outside of the house, FaZe kind of going to shoot them.
They have the numbers advantage, but you see a lot of them staying behind in buildings. They need to play together here. O'Connell, I like that he's disengaging, but I think they just need to man up. They're 4v2. If they play with the numbers, they're going to win like 100% of the time. So I want to see Edu leave his building, or Educast leave his building, and then they just all go together. Because what O'Connell is doing alone, if he gets knocked,
he's going to get finished.
And then you lose all your confidence, and then you're never going to retake your old compound.
Yeah, they need to watch a bit of Counter-Strike and see really how to breach situations. Pop a couple of flashbangs in there. M19, it's a sneaky swim under the bridge. It should work out for them. There's no problems there. Knights are down on the beach line, but not really in a position to challenge them, so they should get across fairly cleanly. They took the gamble to stay in Nova, but it's going to work out fine for them. They'll get across the beach edge. Here you can see the complex situation that is occurring. Moonwolf, they've gone for the push. Rezu gets taken down. Last man standing for Lions is going to be in the building as well. Is he going to be able to keep the storm from descending upon him? Azriel has managed to vault out, but he's going to get cleaned out. And that's the Lions going down in 16th place.
There we go. I like this play. You don't really want to have other people with you. And when you have such a big advantage with being up 2 man, you really need to clean this out. Because let's say the circle goes away from them in the next circle or the one after that. If there's 2 people around you, you won't be able to leave safely.
You got to believe that maybe they've looked at the situation yesterday because it played out almost the same, right?
Yeah.
And this time they were like, okay, we can't allow that to happen again. Navi, by the way, creeping in the side there, taking pot shots back and forward with Penta. Ghost Profi has gone way outside. He's, I believe, the last man standing for Ghost.
Yes.
As they try and work their way through. M19 you can still see swimming over. FaZe Clan gone for that 2-2 split in Milton. We know it's going to pull away from the water, but there's a decent amount of area that it could go into. We suspect it probably will fall on where Moonwolf was sat. I believe that's going to be very much close to the central circle point. Nova have got themselves tucked in the ditch. There's the FaZe Clan split on the edge side of Milta. They've spotted James over in the Harry Potter there. There's 2 members of Liquid in there. There's the circle update. It's gone pretty much where we expected it to go. It's very similar to yesterday's game, Game 6.
Definitely. And I don't want to say the circles are too predictable, but they haven't been ending in cities so much lately. When you know there's Warden and you know there's a Cidian, you can kind of tell where it's going to go towards.
FaZe Clan looking down the coastline, set to destroy. Just off the side, Sangal losing members. Na'Vi have pushed up into the compound. Little greedy, I would say, for Sangal to try and go for the 2 compounds, the 2-2 split at this stage. At Phase 4, sticking in a 2-2 is very risky. FaZe Clan are doing it themselves, but they were quite far apart. FaZe Clan are just the other side of a road. Sangal are the other side, about 4 different fields. M19 you see creeping up here, set to destroy along the coastline. Na'Vi have basically completely swamped in on Sangal's second compound, so that is now gone. It leaves them in a really tricky situation. Wildcard have pushed up on Purdy. Purdy, the last man standing for Nova, has managed to wipe him out. The rest of Wildcard, you can see Tumai has to try and get in the circle. He's got Profi on his back. Sangal have managed to pick up a knock as well. I can't see who it is on right now as we watch the map area. Dignitas in the north there, pushing up, and that's a tough push onto Liquid. They're outside the zone, and Liquid, with the Harry Potter, will have a clean angle on them. You can see Ibby, he's got a really decent angle on just about every approach they've got here. Wookie Bookie training his eye on the windows. The second that Ibby shows his face, it is going to get taken off.
Yeah, Wookie Bookie, our top killer from day one, he had some amazing sniper shots yesterday. And he's just waiting for the chance to give an opening to his team.
Oh, that's a fight. That's a risky run, but he's going to try and blast it into the side there. Just manages to find the border patrol area. Wookie Bookie up close and personal. They have got in the circle. It's worked out for them. Doesn't want to peek too far. Ibby manages to get Gustav down. That's a little too punches from Peak. Adam also taken down from the UAZ as he tries to pass by. Liquid collected themselves a couple of big kills here. Dignitas, the current points score leader, of course. James, oh, he gets knocked from Fuzzface. Obviously, they were down in Milton. They've been taking pot shots out the whole time, so they've got a little greedy trying to look across there, and it's caught James out in the open. Also gets tagged up. Ibby, you just saw a shot come in there. He will back away. Now M19 and set to destroy. They're clashing on the coastline down on the south side. Genti, he's actually stole the kill away from Liquid there and got the final shot onto Adam. That's, of course, 10 points per kill as well. It all counts. It all adds up.
And Liquid, they really want to kill Dignitas at this point. They know they're up by 2 players. Dignitas is in the first place position, and I believe Liquid is in third.
Those shots you can hear, there it is. It's Genti. He's got himself a position that looks straight down the coastline. Obviously, he was hearing the shots that were going on between Set to Destroy and M19. He's trying to get himself a couple of free kills there. He's got 2 so far. Liquid continuing to eviscerate and decimate Dignitas. Uncivil, the last man standing, as Wookie Bookie is knocked the other side of the road. Scoob's going to come in and flush him out. He's down. And now Uncivil left all alone. But Mexi, oh, he has such a clean angle with that SLR.
Just waiting for him to take a shot.
Oh, doesn't quite manage to make it count there.
He hits him in the arm.
Samty, yeah, that arm, the penetration. Obviously, patch, the live server is 1 patch away. We're on the event server here, so this is just about a week away in patch terms. We obviously couldn't force the players to play on the live server because we literally were all traveling here the day it came out. Circle update. Oh, and it goes the exact same way as yesterday. This is almost a replay of yesterday's circle. It did finish on where Moonwolf were yesterday. FaZe Clan were in the exact same situation. They had to cross the hill, cross that path on their fields. It is a very open territory. It is really tricky. Liquid, you can see inside the circle. Penta now are going to be their focus because they're looking towards who's coming out of farm. Na'Vi, look how clustered it is in and around the southern circle. Knights have got themselves a sneaky position in that last little compound that's inside.
I like what Liquid is doing. I think they got caught off guard by Penta yesterday, and they know the only way they'll actually get killed in the circle is by taking care of the people that are coming from the farm area. Yeah, so I like that they take 3 people up and actually covers that area.
I really like the fact you mentioned it because it's exactly the same position, right? It was Penta that moved down to the hay bales.
Yes.
M19, they've been dealing with the shots coming in from FaZe Clan. Genty's been popping shots down the side there. They've now got themselves a UAZ. That's stolen away, I believe, from, I think it was Knights that originally came in and around that way and then set to destroy, etc., all making the path round. So M19 going to try and set themselves a little compound up. Oh, the nade just bounced off the window ledge there, so it didn't quite go as bad as Survivors did yesterday, but could have been disastrous. Set to destroy, by the way. Rift is blasting in. We're watching M19 right now. There's a vehicle about to come straight towards you. It's Rift. He's going to get ripped apart. It's going to be Voxic that will finish him off, and that is set to destroy, going down in 14th place.
Not the position you want to be in.
Navi are going for it. Navi are making a blasting run. They're coming in 4 cars, all strong. They're getting absolutely peppered. Nova are going to do the damage. They've got 2 players up near. Moonwolf also trying to light them up. Pokemon hopped out of the car, tries to get around the side and work his way in, but they've got themselves the little shack, and you can see it's Pokemon, the last man standing. They had so many kills yesterday, but it doesn't look like it's going to work out this time around. The nade from Sangal hit Nova and wiped them out in 13th place. It's just PSD. The Calendar across the road, but he just rattles one and it saves Pokemon. He may even be able to get back and revive Shade and Uber. No! Chronix comes in. They're making the move coming out of farm, and they manage to pick apart Uber.
Yeah, Nova, I think they got a little bit overconfident. They wanted to finish off Pokemon, and they got caught off guard by Sangal. And while all this happened, Penta, they also take down Trio Navi, and then they take a position in the circle.
Profi goes down, 11th place for Ghost there as Knights pick up another kill. They are the gatekeepers of the South right now. Team Gates themselves are just getting in a vehicle. They're going to try and get out, and instantly you see them getting wiped out by the Knights. Drayden and Kramer collecting themselves a kill apiece as they go down in 10th position. Now the circle getting very close to contracting. It's very close. You can see Navi and Sangal kind of trading blows. I believe Pokemon has just wiped them out there. Calendar goes down. Is BSD and Pokemon in a one-on-one. That's a great nade. He's going to bounce around the side. Should be able to go around the back there. One more will go through. He's just getting himself inside the shack. Comes back around the side. The nade goes up the back. It doesn't quite do enough damage. He pops back inside the shack in time. But meanwhile, Uncivil, that's Dignitas going down in 9th position as Mexi gets himself the kill. The circle will update, and it goes very much into the fields with Moonwolf and FaZe, the only compounds inside there, and Liquids just on the tip. So it is going to be a very interesting next circle. Last time, as we mentioned, where Andy Pyro is right now is where the circle moved to. We'll see if we're going to get an identical game to yesterday.
Yeah, it's a little bit more off to the east, but this was the game that the Knights won.
M19 coming up behind FaZe. Now, we saw obviously Genty was trying to keep them at bay, but now they give themselves an opening. We were talking about obviously how Liquid dealt with Penta and wiped them out. FaZe have kind of left this CIS issue up behind them. M19, they're an aggressive team. They will push on siege on that building that FaZe are in.
But FaZe, they chose to cross the road before the circle hits in, because the only buildings that are in on that side are the 2 buildings that FaZe are occupying. And the only way that M19 can get to them if they have a lot of smokes. And we see Knights, they're pushing up and Moonwolf.
They're trying to go and breach FaZe. This is interesting. So FaZe actually, have they got anyone watching the back door? I believe they do. It looks like FaZe may well be peeking that way. Mexi trying to keep an eye on it as well, but they can't get too distracted on this Knights Moonwolf phase, trying to get, third party in as much as they can. Because as you just saw from Battleland's position, he actually had a pretty clean shot on them. There's Andy Pyro. Getting a little tap onto Nexus there. Washout manages to get the knock on Drayden. That's going to slow down their approach. Yeah. Penta and Liquid, by the way, in the northern side of the circle. Penta in very much identical spot that they had before. There's going to be about 3 different fights going on between 4 teams. Can't get my words out. 6 4-man teams all trading fights in the circles to push it in.
Yeah, and right now Moonwolf and FaZe has the advantage, and both being in the circle. And we need to see M19 and Knights make a play here.
Sorry, I thought he was going to throw the nade and then almost got pushed. I think he got the report. Fuzzface hasn't spotted them out on the right-hand side. They're trying to get the flank around. They're using the smoke to cross the street and get around the side. The Knights are pushing on Moonwolf as well. They're making their sweep up there. Andy Pyro gets knocked and Texas moves in. So we're watching multiple fights play out at once. We've got the M19 on your screen right now. It's very hard to try and follow all of them. We'll try and keep you updated as the kill feed comes through. Moonwolf managing to get Drayden and Kramer on knock. They went into the field. It was risky. M19's nade's going to go in. doesn't quite manage to reach the window that he was aiming for. The blue is on his back. He's got to get moving. M249 just rattling away at the doors, the windows, anything he can find, any knock that he can try and get, but he's going to get taken down. The blue working against them. They get up against the wall as Yemchi gets a knock on towards Elite Player. He goes down. The second one comes through, finds the head. M19 are wiped out by FaZe Clan. Now they need to look and turn their attention the other way towards Moonwolf and Knights.
There's one player left.
One man.
Next season takes him out.
I was going to say, I don't think he's going to survive. Though. Okay, Moonwolf, they've managed to keep 3 alive. Kramer and Voxic also stayed alive for the Knights there. I believe, did they manage to get a revive up? No. They managed to get a rocket around the side. O'Connell gets taken down. Voxic at the hay bale. O'Connell will be able to crawl away into the cover there as Edikos tries to tap for the head. Oh, Andy Pyro, he's been back alive. And that SLR doing some serious work for him. The circle contracts, it shifts. FaZe Clan's house is the only compound within the circle. It gives them a giant chance at a chicken dinner here. Liquid are going to push them from the north. Moonwolf and Knights have to deal with this fight in the south. And Penta, they're on a big rotate towards
Liquid. Is there
Liquid.
any cover in the circle besides the one that face out in their compound?
Just a few.
There's just like 3 hay barrels, and maybe a little ridge. No, that's a rock, I think.
Is that a shack or a rock in the middle? I can't tell.
There's no shack there. So there's a few hay barrels. Well, this is looking very good for FaZe.
N24 from James puts good night to Knights. There's just Kramer remaining now as the 3 members of Moonwolf look for him. And he knows he's behind one of these. He's looking for Navi. It's Pokemon James, oh no, if Ibby, that's the worst timing to get a knock right now as the circle contracts. Andy Pyro finishes off Navi. They will go down in 6th place as now they try and pepper Penta. They're trying to make their way across the field and both Liquid and Moonwolf are trying to take pot shots at them. Hacksteady even gets himself involved. He steals the kill away. Chronix goes down. Samty gets knocked as Liquid get picked apart by FaZe as well. FaZe Clan move out of the house. They're moving up on Liquid. They're going aggressive. They're thinking you need to push in the circle. This is our circle. You cannot take our ground. Samty will go down to a nade from Fuzzface and they're in all sorts of trouble. Hacksteady steals another way. 9 kills and counting for FaZe Clan. They still have 4 alive and the only compound still within the circle.
Liquid is making the move now. They're bringing all their vehicles. It's the only cover they can build. And you see FaZe guys peppering shots in them. They actually made a smoke ball.
Moonwolf taking shots across as well. Edikos gets James down. Scoop replies. Brexico down. It's just Kane's last man standing for Penta as Jemty tries to find the head of Scoom. Edikos has got a clean shot here. Scoom will go down. O'Connell in the end will be the one that steals that kill away. That is going to be Liquid, I believe, just with Ibby left standing. He tries to come across. Kane tries to light him up. It's Penta versus Liquid. Kane's taking shots. He will go down. That's 4th place for Penta as Liquid, the last man standing, is getting lit up by Yemty. Doesn't manage to take him down with that vehicle. He's got absolutely no health left. Any little whiff of a shot. There it is. Yemty finds it. That's 10 kills and counting for FaZe Clan. But the circle moves away from FaZe Clan. It goes to Moonwolf. Edikos just on the edge of where the circle will finish. They have the trees. And look at FaZe Clan. They're already on the move. Mexi goes for the hay bales.
This is going to be very tough. I think the team that takes the most rounds. You see Mexi.
Oh, the knocks, they're on big knocks. Mexi gets O'Connell and Edikos, and now Andy Pyro, the last man standing. They're going to be looking at seeing 7 alive. They know 4 of them are there. They've got 2 knocks. They know it's just 1 man. FaZe Clan on the hunt with the net. They've got themselves 10 kills. It's going to be 13 at the end of this. That is a giant 130-point net, unless Andy Pyro, the substitute standing, can do a miracle play. He gets himself 1 knock. It's Mexi. He's finished him off. He's managed to get the 1 down, but now they know his position. They know he's behind the bale. It gives Moonwolf an extra kill, but there's not a great deal he can do. He stands up, and FaZe can take the chicken dinner, the first of day 2.
And our first team to reach 2 chicken dinners. Extremely well played by FaZe Clan. They had a few circles, but they played it well. They knew exactly where to look and when to look it, and they had a phenomenal ending here. Not breaking a sweat against Moonwolf.
13 kills, they were pressured. M19 pushed their compound around the side. Moonwolf, of course, themselves in pressured situation. They got 11 kills out of that, so a great finish for Moonwolf. The best so far. Pretty much a 3-way battle of 6 4-man teams. I couldn't say it when it was on stream either. 6 4-man teams all fighting against each other in a 3-way battle. It was pretty crazy, but here we go. Let's see where the circle gods will give us. It is a plane that's going pretty much straight across from Georgie Pole across to the north side of Lipovka. It does cause problems for the southern teams like Vitality that want to get down to Sosnovka. And of course, Navi shouldn't be too bad for them. They're going to get down to Primorsk. There is going to be a bit of a battle here, though, for vehicles to get down south.
I mean, is there? Isn't Vitality the only team that actually goes south of Pubg here? I mean, the only one that we have is Farm and Military, but they're not really that close to where Vitality's dropping.
Yeah, Moonwolf, yeah, I guess they could. Looks like long drop. Washout's already bailed and done himself a vehicle. Team Gates have actually gone in and around the standard school area. Looks like Exco has actually gone a bit further north this time. Now, remember last time, Lions obviously took the vehicles and kind of went across. Ooh, oh. First face in trouble. Drayden going to get around the side of him. He does manage to dash around the tree. This is the problem.
Survivor is also coming in on the car. Very close to Exedi on the minimap there.
Remember, Survivor's the first one to die last time around as well.
But both Fuzz and Hex here is out of vehicle.
He's in the middle of trouble there. Why don't he just hop on the rock?
This is one thing I always...
Why does he not just hop on the rock?
That's a good... I think he's just taunting him. Fuzzface knows what he's... I don't want to jinx it.
Yeah.
See, Fuzz is in full control.
I know, right?
He doesn't care. He's like, yeah, I can probably run all the way to Milta Power and you won't hit me, Dre.
Oh, ooh.
Look at Fuzz. He could use the trees as cover, but this is style points. There we go.
It's almost like a matador taunting a bull, I guess.
That was one side I also wanted to bring up. How much time does Drayden waste here? Is he gonna go for a gun? And then
yeah, he's going to try and get a gun.
He's going to come back?
Oh, that's risky. M19, they've gone back to Yasnaya onto the east side of Yasnaya is Navi. Of course, they got themselves the vehicles down into Primorsk. So they're in a pretty standard, comfy situation. 38 kills, I believe, in total for them and FaZe Clan, the two leading kill scorers in the game. And, of course, placement points with the two chicken dinners for FaZe Clan has put them way ahead in points right now. 210 points ahead of second place Dignitas. But we're not even at the halfway stage yet. So there's still lots of games to go.
Definitely. And Liquid is only 20 points away from Dignitas. And everyone in the top 6 is relatively close. I mean, FaZe Clan has a little bit of a lead over Knights, but other than that, anything can happen.
I mean, it's what, 200 points from second down to 7th.
But I mean,
very, very tight between
we
them.
did hear that FaZe Clan, they're taking 4 more wins today. Realistically,
yeah, well, that's what Mexi said. Yeah, he said.
I mean, they really wanted all 6 of the games, but they're at least taking 4 more today, so they're probably going to have a lead.
In Mexi's view, yeah, 5 out of 6 is realistic. Don't want to push it and go 6. But here we go. Okay, so Vitality got themselves down onto Sosnovka. No problems for them. Everybody's kind of in position now. You can see Yannick's quite a distance away. It is a very centralized circle this time around, right? Very much slap bang onto.
But this circle is actually kind of interesting because if the north side is on the map and the water settings that we have. If it goes north in the next 2 circles, it could end up on the north side, and then we have to see all these teams cross the river, which can be dangerous.
Yeah, we've had obviously a number of finishes go to the north side of Yasnaya Lake, so we'll see where it does trickle down. Of course, it encompasses, I would say school is pretty much the central point right now, obviously where Team Gates is, so we'll see whether they're able to do something a little different. Lions have been fairly early rotators, but won't really need to go too far. But as we know with teams, you don't tend to stick around towns.
No, and the reason for that is you can save your vehicles, but you cannot defend an entire town on your own. You, well, 100% of the time have to let other people into your town. And then as we were talking in the last game, when you have to leave a town that's occupied by other people, it can just get really messy and annoying, and you don't have the freedom you want. So you prefer playing compounds, so you can easily defend with 4 people and keep it for yourself. You don't want to share it with anyone else.
And we were just talking to Andy outside, obviously on about the Lions push. Ooh, that car is rolling back down the hill. Easy. We were just talking, obviously, with Andy about the compound push, obviously. I'm talking about that compound, or mini farm, I tend to call it. It is a large compound, and it's very indefensible. That's why nobody was really going to it in yesterday's game. It was obviously like the last minute you will go there. That's why we saw Lions coming in. It was a really tricky defense for Moonwolf. We saw Knights almost doing the same thing. It's a really hard compound, so you got to be quite picky. You can't go for too greedy an area, effectively, but you also don't want too small an area that you're very much going to get picked off by grenade.
The only good thing about small areas is if you want to do a split, then you can cover it with less people. Because there's less ways you can get breached.
Interesting to see Liquid, of course. Obviously, the plane went straight across the Yasnaya, so early drop for them. Ibi and Jeems have already taken that compound, so they've already come out of Yasnaya, knowing that that compound is going to be sort of vital territory in and around the central spot.
What I'm looking at, actually, is Senko. Every single game, they've been staying at the edge of the blue and rotating in very last minute. Here, they're actually one of the first teams to actually move out of their territory and try to take a position early on.
That had to be the slowest scroll wheel into the minimap, I think, ever. It's like, I'm coming in. Someone needs to change their sensitivity on the scroll wheel, I think. There's a ghillie suit, M249. We just saw a couple of M249s from M19 used in the previous matchup. Circle-wise, as I say, teams are starting to rotate fairly early. Looks like Ghost to go for Potato Hill, which actually could be an interesting one because FaZe do tend to go that way for this sort of circle. M19 have come across. Remember, they went Yasnaya East this time, not down in Novo because the plane sort of projected it that way. Here comes Ghost coming out of Pachinki. As I say, they've already got McCoy up on Potato Hill, so expect to see Turtle and Co. probably follow in the same footsteps. Nova, they're making the journey across. You can see them just to the north compound. They're going to get themselves in there. Everybody's sort of centralizing up. There's a lot. I mean, there's a lot of real estate, right, to centralize here.
That's a team we haven't seen enough of because a lot of teams have really high expectations for Nova due to their really fairly good online performances, but they've been very lackluster in the LAN tournaments.
Obviously, it also comes the threat of joining the new org, right?
They did
Team
join the new org,
Totality, transferring to Nova. A lot of pressure on your shoulders as soon as you do that.
I would just say they've attended quite a few tournaments now, and they should kind of be over the LAN jitters, so to speak. And I want to start seeing them having the performances that they have online.
Yeah. See whether they can step it up. Of course, they're in a packed lineup really here. Oh, Adam's going to get a clean shot here. Should be able to get a lot of damage down, and they're going to go straight towards Team Gates. That's a lot of damage done on Sangal's car as they try and veer away from Team Gates as well. SKS rattling through, but he's trailing. We can see the Tracer shots just landing a wee bit short there in terms of aim-wise. Does give his position away, but I don't think anyone's going to be too shocked to see that Dignitas are on that hill. Of course, they start Savernian going to be working their way down, and there's Exco taking shots at Sangal, who just evacuated their car. Oh, a bit of a pattern action, I think we just heard there from Exco.
Do you think the pen is too powerful?
See, it's an interesting thing, right, the pan, because it was only ever put in as a joke originally, wasn't it? Way back in closed
I've seen
alpha.
discussion of pro players who are like, can we just get rid of the pen in competitive play?
But it's part of the. I mean,
it is iconic now. I know
it's an iconic icon.
I'm just asking. Do you think the pan is too powerful? I mean,
it's only your butt. It's protecting.
It is protecting your butt, but I mean, all the other. I think it does more damage than all the other melee weapons and stuff like that.
Well, there's that as well. But if you're in melee range, and like when you get to see a melee fight, not very often, unless you're watching some sort of charity stream.
When we were playing Pubg games together, us guys, and we were in a 4v1 limit situation, we always spam the guy.
That's true, but that again, you don't get it in a tournament situation is what I'm talking about. But yeah,
wait.
The penetration patch just came through, obviously, so it's probably less of an issue now, I would say, than it has been throughout, obviously, the history of PUBG tournaments. So I don't think we've ever seen a situation where, like, oh, saved by the pan. It's like there's really not been a situation like that.
I mean, it's hard to catch in stream, but it do happen all the time.
It does happen. It does happen. Especially when you're running across the field and saying, ping, ping. You're like, oh my God, oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, it covers a fairly big area, but we'll let it go. I just wanted to put it out there. I wanted somebody to be like, maybe Lastness a point there. I'm going to go onto Reddit now.
Yeah, I'm sure someone probably will. It doesn't take much to trigger the Reddit nation. By the way, great to see generic PUBG Reddit getting very much involved after PGI in the pro scene. Obviously not forcing us onto PUBG competitive. That's really been a scene for a long time. So it's great to see them going in there. So can't get too much on them. Moonwolf actually rotating up onto that hill, the Harry Potter once again. Fate's fan very late on the rotate here. And I'm wondering where they're going to go. As I mentioned, they do tend to sometimes go in and around, basically where M19 are right now on the map.
Yeah, exactly. They played the forest just south of where M19 is. That is their go-to in this kind of circle, I believe. So I'm going to see if they do the same, or if they're playing safer. Sometimes in the first circle, they wait for the string before they go deeper in.
Speaking of playing safe, look at Dignitas. They've got a big 2-2 split there. M19, of course, set up in this compound, as we mentioned. It's a pretty decent compound. You've got that wall to the south side and a decent entrance down from the hillside. But look at Dignitas' big rotate. Obviously, trying to go for the 2-2. We've seen them doing a lot. A lot of teams do this a lot. Safe position for Uncivil and Adam. And now Gustav and Wookie have come all the way around to this, the Lake of Yasnaya. And this is what we're talking about. If it goes north, this is actually a very good spot to take the lion's share of territory, because we've seen it finish a lot of times in those sort of fields to the west of Stauber. We'll see where the circle will shrink down to. It's fairly central, FaZe Clan working their way through at the moment, and it gives us a lot of opportunities. Obviously, most teams in there, nobody dead just yet. There's been a couple of knocks, but a couple of rundown attempts, but nothing major.
I was really pleased with the way First FaZe was styling and Drayden. He was like, yeah, you one-hit me. I don't need no cover. I'll just run around you until you get tired. That's confidence.
Very.
And I feel FaZe Clan after their first game
situation, yeah.
They must be feeling good.
There's a knock. It's Chris managing to land the shot on Exco. Pretty sure that's building to building gunfire though, so should easily be revived. Lions actually pushing on this one. This is pretty bossy. Yeah, he's in the Harry Potter. Modifier is going to get in there. Ooh, here is he? He gets lit up. Chris manages to get a couple of tags on him. Takes him down to about half health. Knows he's going for the revive. Don't think he's really going to get the angle. He's crawled in through the doorway and around the side. Yeah, so he hasn't got a shot on him. And Chris will back away to Rozok.
We got an updated circle, and it actually went south.
On Potato.
And all the people on the north side here, they're going to have kind of hard time getting into the hill.
So, FaZe, they're going to go south. Ghost actually in a great spot. They chose to go Potato Hill out of Pachinki, and it is centered on that point. Penta down the side there. Expect FaZe Clan to be looking to get close to Potato Hill. That is a spot they like to go at the moment. They're pulling up on that compound because they see Moonwolf on the rotate. They're going to be hearing Set to Destroyers welcoming up behind them. A lot of rotates around the hillside. They're looking to try and pick up a couple of those rotate free kills.
This is something that FaZe Clan does so well, and why they do it so well. A lot of teams you would have seen here, they would have kept on driving. But FaZe, no, when they have 4 men alive, they can almost win.
They've ditched vehicles as well.
They're just scouting now. They didn't leave the vehicles behind, but they stop and then they look, and now you'll see them go back to the vehicles and hit deeper in. But they don't want to take any chances and be too greedy for positioning in the first couple of circles.
Interestingly, Ghost are choosing not to stay on Potato Hill, which is central. They've left Turtle up there,
it is
but they've actually chosen to take the compound further south.
But it is very hard to hold. I mean, you can basically hold one side of the hill, and then you can be run up from 2 other sides.
Someone comes right over the ridge and right on top of you, yeah.
If you look at what Turtle was, so it doesn't really matter, but if you look at one side, then it's very easy to be run upon, and you can't defend the whole hill, so it's actually way easy to just take a compound and then walk up and third-party somebody later on.
Mossy getting Chris. That's a bit of revenge. This is, of course, come out of Rozok. They're right on top of each other. And Chris downed, but not out. Smoke's coming in to try and help him out. Now he might get downed out. Asriel doesn't quite find the shot he wanted. Tilo taken very low. Exco gets a little peek across there. Chris does get finished off. Now Sonic's getting battered. Mossy manages to down him. Rezi got one back on him as Rezi tries to get the AK spray down. Not going to work out in his favor as he looks across. Very tight fight between the North American team and the Turkish
Look at the
German
Liquid is running up at them. They want a piece of the cake. They see 2 teams are fighting. There's a bunch knocked on both sides. And this is something Liquid does really well.
Lions were leading.
Team Gates doesn't have a clue. Just look at this.
They were leading yesterday. Yeah, no idea. Look at Rezu around the side there. Silo's going to get tagged heavily. Can he get away through the smoke? Anything will come through. There's a big nade. It's Jeems coming up behind them. Liquid getting involved on the back of Team Gates. They just get it picked apart. Jeems with a grenade. Gets himself 2 knocks and wipes the entire team himself. Incredible stuff as Liquid third party like pros.
How does he predict that nade? He couldn't even see the guy. And it connects.
Silo, the last man standing. Silo, sorry. And now Lions are thinking, hang on a minute. We're against Liquid. Okay. This is actually a battle that's played out multiple times so far. Is he really going to land that? He has. He's got it. He's got it. Oh, my God. The aimbot nade king, Jeems, strikes again. 2 kills with nades, 2 with the gun. So he wipes out the entire Team Gates on his own.
I think he has heat-seeking grenades. I don't know what else to say.
Check those USB sticks. Well, Lions are realizing
we look at that. Lions are like, oh, it's too Liquid. We're leaving. We're not going to take our chances now.
Yeah, I don't
and that is very intimidating to some teams. And this is the first big LAN tournament. And
they had a very good start at Miramar, though, and they did say Miramar is their favorite, but they have had some woeful performances on Erangel.
Definitely, but you don't want to be right next to a team like Team Liquid. And you can see these guys, they got scared. Instead of when Liquid was fighting Team Gates, Lions, on the other hand, they actually just, they got scared. They got very intimidated. And now they run away.
When Jeems comes at you and starts landing nades like that, I'd be intimidated as well. I'm pretty intimidated. I'm just watching.
But I mean, when the 2 teams are fighting, the overall idea is kind of you want to fight back. You see Yempty doing Yempty things.
Yeah,
and you can see First FaZe moving up. And I think Yemti's going to peek as soon as his teammate starts to take shots at him.
So very similar, exact same spot where we saw Ghost and Team Gates trading blows on previous matchup.
Yeah.
Exact same spot. Roles reversed this time. It's FaZe that are pushing around. Haxedi, Mexi, long way out, by the way.
But just look at this. First FaZe is going to take their attention, and then Teams is going to pop up. Oh, not Yemti, sorry.
Edikos trying his best to get a peek in there. They're in the shack right now, so one nade would be tragic. They're going to get in the vehicle. They're going to get out of there. Look at that. Gemty moves. FuzzFace moves. They're going to try and get some exit frag if they can. Edikos tries to bat it away.
I don't think Boom saw them, but they had two team members further in the zone and they're moving together. Oh, okay.
It's the circle update that forced them away. So
and Andy was deep in the zone and he scouted that Potato was clear.
Yeah.
But they're kind of running into Penta here, unless they keep going.
McCoy's going straight down to where Navi is, looking towards the barns. That's not going to work out for him, so Ghost's going to go. Look at this. It is chaos. There's only a couple of barns in that edge field area that they can move into. A lot of them working around the trees. Lions are going to try and blast in there. M19 do get in. They actually ran over Smitty on the way there and managed to gun him down. Sam Teak getting a peek. That's Lions that goes across. Wise work from Dignitas. Look at their position. This is a team that lands in Severny. They have now come all the way around the edge and into the south side. They read the situation really well. They knew there was a lot of teams in and around the Rozhok area that did come down. Knights, by the way, miles away. Still up in that top, late to rotate. They know they're probably going to go. I wouldn't be too surprised to see them going full west and coming in down south.
I definitely like that idea because it hot swing to the west. And if they go in from the east side, that's going to be towards the old center of the zone, and that's very dangerous. Liquid runs into Sangal, and Scoom takes down Kellum, though.
They're trying to come around the side. Sangal. Liquid, of course, picked up 4 kills already. The man on your screen, James, taking all 4 of Team Gates members out in 16th place, coming right up behind him. Total surprise.
James, he want to get back into netting range.
Yeah,
and I'm sure he picked up a few nades.
He's got AB down. That's a good knock. AB's actually pretty much exposed, and he might get finished off here. He's just going to crawl behind the tree. Oh, he's down to nothing. He's gone. He's got a VSS in from Geeka. Is the one that finishes him off. There's a nade. Oh, he goes off to the left. The aimbot's just a little off right now. James, oh, it was close, though. It was close. Could have got himself a double as well. Geeka, good spray on towards Scoom. Scoom taken low as well. Liquid, suddenly not so confident in this exchange against Sangal.
No. I mean, when they had the advantage, that's when you saw them pressing in, but it's hard when you lose a member.
While this is happening, FaZe Clan are about to run over Penta. You can see FuzzFace just got himself the first knock. They're trading on Potato Hill. They're coming up against each other. Mexi gets Udyr down as well as looks like Liquid looking to disengage. Meanwhile, Penta, they're trying to disengage. Chronic tries to get on a bike. It doesn't work out. He gets knocked. Brexico gets the hell out of dodge. Kate gets himself behind a rock, but FaZe Clan have the net closing in and around it. And Penta looking like they're going to lose 3 here. Nowhere to go. Mexi gets himself safe behind the UAZ. Support comes in. And Brexico in the end, he's had to run straight into Lions. He goes down. Penta will go out in 15th position.
That's how 2 German teams gone from the 8th game.
Yeah.
And Lions, they had an amazing first run yesterday, but they're not having the day they want today.
No, they're down to 2 still.
Oh, never mind.
3 actually, I think.
It was Team Gates.
It was Team Gates that went out earlier, yeah.
Teams got knocked out by Sangal, and Sangal they're pressing. They know Liquid is down to 2 players.
They're going to push on this one. It was Liquid in the first place that went aggressive, but it's backfired on them. And they are getting the heck out of there. James goes down. That's a big issue.
James got a quad kill, and he's going to feel really confident. And this might have gotten him killed because you saw him, he was a little bit away from his team and he was trying to push them.
Well, they got the initial knock, right? They got the initial knock on Sangal. They thought, we can push this, we've got the knock. I mean, that's what you do.
But you know the curse when you get overconfident and maybe
exactly.
He just got a quad kill, he's going to be feeling really good. And now he went off and died a little bit alone, a little bit separated from his team.
Nobody wants to die alone.
Nobody wants to die, period.
That's true. That's true. Circle update, and it moves in. You can see Potato Hill, where FaZe Clan have moved into, is still very much in the zone. Navi, of course, got the double barns. Now, are they going to contract and maybe sink it to 1? Because they're going to get pushed by one of those barns, no doubt about it. M19 with a good spot as well. Liquid trying to get by that Scoom. He's going to go past M19 and run straight into Navi as he gets around. Now he's going up the hill. He's going to end up in Moonwolf's hands. Moonwolf will welcome him in. Watch out. Oh, they don't get him. He cuts through somehow, blasts through straight into Ghost. They're thinking, where can we go? And now he's got into Set to Destroy. This Scoom's just blasted through, and now he goes into the hands of Dignitas, probably thinking, how the hell are they down this far south? He's gone all the way down. Samty in the end was picked up by Mexi. There's a decent shot traded onto Mexi there from Washout, but forces him to duck behind the tree. And Scoom now the last man standing for Liquid. Figinaldo moving straight on towards him along with Set to Destroy. Nowhere to go for him. Lying next to a broken bike. Scoom tries to get in the bush. No idea where they're coming from. Sees Figinaldo. Too late. And Liquid, ironically, will go down in 14th place. That's a poor finish for them. A team that was chasing the top table teams.
Very unfortunate for them. But, I mean, they'll come back. I'm just a little bit sad that they do such good play and they third-party them, and then I felt like they got a little overconfident.
Double knock on Knights there. Lions and Nova catching them out as they try and rotate around. They did go around to the west, now moving south, but they're getting caught out. Just Texas and Kramer standing for them as they try and get the hell out of there. Voxic and...
They're running away from the circle and towards the field. They're going to not have anywhere to go.
Yeah, they have nowhere. They're going to have to go all the way down to Pachinki, use the ridge line, and then try and come across the field to Pachinki, and that's just not a run that anyone wants to take.
No.
They found themselves a Dacia, tucked in, so that might help them out there. Mexi finds Sangal. Sangal pushing up on Potato Hill, so they're trying to push onto him. FaZe very much not having any of that. Set to Destroy also on Wildcard. That is down on the south ridge of the circle here at the compound. You can see it now on your screens as they try and get around. Figinaldo gets himself pried down. Tumai and Sharpshot. Sharpshot tries to line up a nade, tosses it out. Oh, it's not going to work out for him. Rift manages to get Tumai down. Sharpshot out. And Wildcard are wiped out by their North American compatriots, and they will go down in 13th place.
Yeah, and Set to Destroy Dignitas, Ghost, and Vitality all neck and neck. And we actually see Knights. They're trying to rotate to the field.
And look at Dignitas and moving on it. Now, the compound that's Set to Destroy in is not a strong one. You can get pushed from the hillside easily.
Push out of it.
Yeah. So Dignitas, well, Texas is going way, way round. Drain's here, taking shots down. You can see they're trying to pop off. Texas is about to run straight into Dignitas as well. We see Mexi picking up another 2 knocks. Geeka and BSD from Sangal, finishing them off there. Calendar, the last man standing for there. Texas tries to bail out, runs over Snakers, and will get taken down by Survivor. Dignitas coming down the hillside. They've been hearing the shots. They saw them taking down Wildcard earlier on. Gustav gets Survivor down. Profi will drop as well. Somehow, somewhere, he was way away from his team. The nade comes in. Survivor and Snake could both go down. Figinaldo on Uncivil, the last man along with Rift to get away from this fight. It's really not a fight they can take. Gustav's out in the blue at the moment. It is phase 4. It will start to chunk him down. He will need the support to try and get out of this one, as now they've got to be careful. Remember, Knights, they've still got one alive, by the way. Kramer comes in there. The circle update will come in. It goes on to Navi's compound and M19s. They have a good point. It does mean that FaZe needs to push away. FaZe, once again, you can see on the minimap there, engaging with Sangal. Just Shakesy, the last man standing for Sangal now. FaZe on 5 kills and counting.
Yeah, they have an amazing start. There's 37 people live and already have 6 kills.
You're starting to believe that maybe their 5 wins could actually become a real deal. I don't know how it could work, but
they're showing the confidence and they're taking the fights without hesitating.
Ghost and Vitality very much on top of each other. You can see Vitality's scope right now as Monkey tries to make his way through. These teams both with the blues on their back. 30 seconds and counting. That time will just whittle away as they try and look for the angles and the shots onto that compound. They know they have to make the move around. They can't go south because Dignitas and Set to Destroy are fighting down there. They can't go north because it's a pretty open run up that hill, and then they're going to run into FaZe Clan.
And Moonwolf, yeah, it's going to be really tough for these teams to actually get in the zone.
Moonwolf actually have a really good gatekeeping position, right?
Yeah, but the problem for Moonwolf is if they take the fight with Ghost of Vitality, then they can get third party for both Dignitas and possibly FaZe if they push down the hill.
It's a big old hill down with a lot of tree cover, but you can see Moonwolf actually engaging on Dignitas, which might give them a small chance here as we see Ghost getting the first knock on Yannick. They know that there's someone nearby. Jazz's trying to find himself. Bark's about to peek around the side there. If he doesn't look at the right time, he finishes Shadow off, so it gives Monkey the information he needs. Tries to get a spray down, and it works perfectly for Balok there. Landing the shots he needed. Lines up the second one. Not quite enough, but he's going to have the support. Izzy, Ghost, McCoy tries to come around the corner, and he gets knocked down, and suddenly it's danger. Turtle versus Monkey in a one-on-one as they try and push the position. It's Turtle that's going to push for it. Going to go for the revive on McCoy. Balak bleeds out, and it will give them a chance to revive. Well, let's have a quick glimpse of what's going on the map, by the way. Moonwolf, they've got Dignitas now pushing up the hill. Dignitas dealt with most of set to destroy. 1 second. Rifty's the last man standing there. We're watching, obviously, that battle playing out there. Nova, meanwhile, who we're looking at now, this is in the north edge of the map. Trading. Vitality wiped out by Ghost. That fight finishes. I can't even speak anymore. FaZe Clan, they are now doubling up, all squadding together to get onto Nova.
Yeah, and I mean, what we saw from the south, Moonwolf, I think they lost 1. Dignitas lost 2. Kramer is somehow still alive, and he's in the zone for now. Turtle is trying to make his way in. We see Nova on top of Ezreal's.
Lying in there. Ezreal is the last man. But they're fighting with FaZe. They can't deal with Lions right now. He could be a big third-party thorn in their side.
And I think FaZe knows that it's Nova there.
Oh, that's going to catch him out.
Now you'll see FaZe react to this.
Should finish him off, but it's maybe a small distraction as gave FaZe Clan. Look at the map.
And now
they can see them pushing. Look at the mini-map in the bottom right-hand corner. They're going to scream onto this. They just saw that one big knock. They know they're trading with Nova. They quickly try and adapt, but the circle shifts. It goes once again to Navi's compound. M19's is just inside it. Sangal just inside it, but now Moonwolf are looking towards Turtle. Kramer still alive for the Knights there. There goes Turtle. That's Ghost going out in 8th position. FaZe Clan, they're actually positioning themselves. Look at this. Positioning themselves that now Nova have to move through FaZe Clan. While they're netting around the side, it's going to give them a perfect chance. So Yeti should get himself a shot down there easy in the end. It's Lost that's trying to escape around the left-hand side.
Lost is trying to disengage, but he's running straight into M19. Oh, did Jemty catch him? I don't think so.
Now they're going to look around. They know they've cleared the compound now, as you say, running straight into M19. So really the hillside angle that Lost has managed to get himself at there, is it going to be enough to escape? Look at Constantine's position just then. If he looks left, he's got a clear angle. Lost is going to come over that brow of that hill in a second. They hear the FaZe Clan fight that's going on. Oh, but suddenly they trade blows. Battleland caught out by Na'Vi, and that's going to draw their attention away. They're looking at FaZe. They're trying to take shots on FaZe.
Yem's spots lost, and that is Nova out in the 7th spot.
8 kills and counting for FaZe Clan. They've made Potato Hill theirs through many games, honestly, throughout.
I love what FaZe is doing. You can see it a little bit on the mini-map. They're clearing the rest of the hill. They know they don't have any chance to run down to any of the buildings, so they need to take care of the remaining teams that place on top of the hill.
Kramer's trying to sneak in down the south. Moonwolf working their way in. They're going to trip over Sangal in a minute. Shakesy lying there. Now it's FaZe Clan that are getting lit up by Draenus. And that Scar gets a couple of taps down. There's a knock. It's actually Example that gets Haxetti down and finishes them off. So Haxetti down. FaZe Clan down to 3. Now they're running into Moonwolf. This is playing perfectly into Navi's favor. They have the compound, they have the circle, and they have the angles on just about everyone. You can see M19 to their left, FaZe Clan up in the hills, and Moonwolf's about to run over them. Mexi will get taken down. He's going to get a quick reply. Sangal will go down in 6th place there, but Edikos finishes off Mexi, takes FaZe Clan down to 2.
How is Kramer still alive?
Yeah, he's been sneaking it. Sneaking and snaking. He's into the top 5.
And Navi's distracted right now. They're not looking his way. Unless Uber could be downstairs and he might run in. Oh.
Watch out, might see him. Andy Pyro gets Yemty down. That's going to be FaZe Clan going out, but Knights will go down into 5th position. Fuzzface, the last man standing for FaZe Clan. 4th place. Possibilities for them. M19 managed to get the revived, so they've kept 4 alive. Moonwolf with 3 and Navi with 4. Circle about to update. Fuzzface really doesn't have anywhere to go. The problem is they all know he's there, and he's very much on an exposed hill. He's going to get himself just about inside the zone and basically go prime.
He used the smoke. That's about the only thing he can do. Navi, once again, takes down Elite player.
So, circle update. Where will it go? Will it go north, south? Oh, it goes on to Navi. They just need to collect themselves together. Edikos down. They now see Moonwolf off to their eastern side. Draenus just going to move across. Bukamolodoy and Uber outside the zone, but you can see Draenus and Shade very much inside the circle. There they go, just moving compounds, keeping themselves inside the circle. M19, they all need to move in the circle. FaZe have to move in the circle. Moonwolf have to get in there. Now move Moonwolf 2 down. They're getting 1 revive off. Watch out, it's kind of being left alone up there. O'Connell.
Moonwolf there saw when Navi knocked the 2, well, M19 saw when Navi knocked the 2 Moonwolf guys, and they used this wall of smokes to get closer to the zone. But since nothing had happened, they all stopped in their tracks. And they still have to move quite a bit to get in the zone. We see Navi just taking shots onto everyone while they're in the safety of their compound.
Yep, smoke wall across gives Pokemon Molodoi the chance to go over. Uber will probably follow in a second. M19, look at Batalan, he's belting it in there. Now we've seen this so many times from the CIS region, the aggression that can come out from them. They know they may have to just force the compound. Pokemon Molodoi using the white picket fence. That is ballsy. That won't stop a single bullet, but it doesn't matter because he's getting himself the angle. He knows he's got the support of Shade up on high. But M19 have got themselves the two members inside. Fuzzface is going for the run. He's going to try and get across into the circle. He's being lit up by Moonwolf. They're looking to find him. That nade on point. Oh, it bounced away from the tree. Batalan takes a big hit, but it's not enough. Fuzzface gets himself ducked down behind a tree. He's into all sorts of trouble. Washout gets downed again by Pokemon Molodoi. Finished off this time as he just tried to get the revive, and the nade will come in this time. Batalan will go down. That's Shade's nade. Fuzzface, look at him in the distance on the left-hand side, sneaking into the circle. He's actually pushing on Moonwolf and trying to get himself a top 3 finish here. And he may well just get it. Andy Pyro down and finished off by Fuzzface. It leaves, I think, Edukos the last man standing. Fuzzface will get taken down. Navi will pick up the kill there. Drainus gets the kill. Shade will finish off Batalan, and Navi surely have this now in the bag, Larson.
I would assume so. I mean, M19 doesn't really have anywhere to go. They've used up all their utility, and you just see them getting picked apart right now by the entire team of Navi.
Shade gets one, Pokemon Molodoi gets another. Moonwolf in the end may actually be second place team. They get a little glimpse on him in the hills there. Edukos, they know exactly where he is, but there is still 3 teams. It's going to be M19 that will finish off Edukos. They'll get themselves a second position.
He's thinking about running into the blue.
I think so.
He wants to.
Well, CIS first and third place here. Navi winning out first place. Constantine off in the distance, the last man standing. It will be 7 kills and counting for Navi. They will get it. He will run into the blue, and Navi takes the chicken dinner in the second game of the day. As we fast approach the halfway marker, they needed it. They've been one of the highest kill scoring teams throughout, neck and neck with FaZe Clan. It's what we'd expect here of GLL.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't want to take anything away from Navi. They're a great team, but not to work
of the tournament in total. Of course, 18 games will play out throughout this weekend. Who will top out at the moment? FaZe Clan are up there, Navi in second. No surprises really. I think big favourites coming into this tournament. They have delivered on day 1 and 2. Who will step up and challenge them as the plane? It's a pretty decent one, really. Cutting straight across the middle of the map, diagonal path over the top of Stalba. Of course, it does put a problem on the teams looking at Milta Power, in and around Prison Mansion, and all the way down to Sosnovka. You can see Vitality failed early, but there's definitely, as we just saw in the last game, a bit of a fight for cars. We saw the Knights obviously trying to run over Fuzzface, like Matador style, baiting the bull effectively. But the Knights, once again, they're going to have to challenge for the vehicles here. And obviously teams like Moonwolf as well are going to get involved. Everybody wants to get a car to get down the south.
For sure. And there is not enough cars in that area for every team. Like we talked about this. And there's very scarce with car spawns. And they're very far away from each other. One thing that we like to do when we come to South Georgia and I drop for cars, we land in areas where it's very compact and there's more than one car spawn in the vicinity. But around the shelter area and like a little bit towards Rostock, it's very scarce. And the car spawns are between, so if you don't get one,
I mean,
it's not like you can like have a teammate really close by that can always come and pick you up.
Obviously, Dignitas set up here in third place, just coming up to nearly 370 points behind. The circle will come in, and it is a big western circle. This would be perfect for you, Larson. This is your circle right here.
Oh, this makes me very happy to see. And I mean, only because Nova is there. I want to see how they play it. With an airplane like this, when they're in a really good spot, they have the circle. I want to see them early, and I want to see them be greedy. I want to see them take at least 3 different compounds. Maybe, yeah. I mean, it's so good when you have this opportunity.
Talk about the situation in reverse. Obviously, with the plane being a diagonal path, it's forced a big problem for the teams down in the southeast, right? You can still see they're traveling a long distance to get there. The circle pops up. It's completely the other side of the map. I know it's annoying because obviously everybody's been in this situation as a public team. But how do you adapt to that as a team? Because you know now, like, for example, Knights, FaZe, Moonwolf, they're going to have to get in. They're going to have to loot really fast. And they're going to be obviously edge playing because there's no choice other than really. They're not going to be able to get in and loot within a minute and go straight to the center.
The best way to do it, and which is what you see a lot of teams do, if you can't get to a good position early on, take your time. You can be even more greedy with the way you loot. You can go even later. And then after the first circle hits, that's when you want to be in a position to move, but you're actually not in a rush. Because if they try to get into a center spot in the circle, then they'll be killed because everything is occupied.
And they're low on loot, basically.
Yeah,
they're becoming weak into the fight.
Yeah. It goes the opposite way. When it's a bad plane and a bad circle, you actually take more time to loot.
Yeah.
And just make sure you have the resources to maybe stay in the blue for a bit longer. And you have those good vehicles. They're really, really essential for you to actually be able to do good rotations.
Look at the split for set to destroy. Rift's like, yeah, I'm off to Kameshki, boys. I'll see you down there. You go Pubg. I'll go all the way up in Kameshki. I'm surprised they didn't send like Figenaldo maybe to Stauber or something like that. If they're going to spread that much, they may as well two up the north and 2 down Lipo, because Lipov's not got enough loot for a full squad.
Definitely does not. And yeah, I'm surprised to see that they don't play more together and then 2 in a 2, because when you rotate alone, there's such a big chance that you actually die. When there's multiple vehicles to shoot at, first, you have one guy that can scout, so sure, you'll maybe lose one, but then the others can get away safe. But when you drive alone, there's only one car to shoot at. You don't have any scouts or anything. And his team is likely going to move ahead of him, so you won't really be able to get anywhere safely.
And when you drive like Froz, you know, you're just going to get yourself knocked anyway, so you need someone to help res you.
Wait, I thought Frost was more dangerous when he had his teammates around him. I don't think he harms himself. Isn't it just everyone else around him? So
just
actually, it makes sense to put Frost up there, but I haven't heard any memes about Rift yet.
Well, we'll see how it works out. A team that is rotating fairly early is Ghost. I mean, this is standard, right? You go Pachinki, just like Method do. You get yourself quick early loot. Really, there's no bad plane routes for Pachinki. Generally, you're always going to have one that's close by. You're always going to be able to drop in there. That's why it's like the death grounds in public play. But Ghost, obviously, you can see Turtle and McCoy very much early, getting over towards Gatka, which is actually pushing the territory of Wildcard. Now, I'm interested to see how Wildcard do this, because look at them right now. They're Tempo Storm style, massively split still, while everybody's already rotating. Smith is already at the tower, already checking it out, knows it's clear. The rest of his team are going to be there. Wildcard is still one-man spread all over the place.
I kind of like it, and I think Kickstart is going to go with Sharpshot now, and then they have a pretty okay split. The only problem is, never mind, we don't look at it, but Pride is very alone right now, and that's a compound you can't hold alone. But I like that the Western teams, we only have Wildcard and Nova, and they're taking a lot of ground.
There's Mossy and Team Gates. They've been trying to trade blows with Lions, of course. Team Gates start out in school and the apartments area, while Lions are in Rozhok, so have been trading blows throughout there. Looks like Balok getting himself a nice crate. Not the greatest, but he'll take it, because really it's all about the tier 3 items, really, the helmet and the vest.
How can you say that the M249 is not great?
It's just okay. It's okay. I know it's hit and miss for players, right? It's one of those guns that some love, some hate.
The thing is, with the light machine guns, the M249 and the DP, if you crouch, it actually doesn't have that much recoil. So you get a little bit
Well, you get the
immobile.
tripod out, right?
No, I'm not talking about crouching. I'm
Crouching,
just
not prone.
crouching,
Right,
yeah.
okay.
When you're standing up, they're extremely inaccurate. But if you just crouch, they're actually really, really powerful.
And you can absolutely destroy vehicles with them as well. That's obviously the big deal with the M249 is the fire rate. While it's using 5.56, and obviously with the DP, it's using 7.62. Loss has run over Sharpshot. We were talking about players being left on their own. Sharpshot has been run over, and Wildcard still very much spent. I mean, look at the position on the map right now. You've got Kickstart Gatka, Tumai's at the edge of Swamp, and Pride's up on the coastline. They can't group now. They're just caught with their pants down, round their ankles. Everybody's rotated
Did he get knocked
and they
first,
have
or did he get
do.
finished with the run over? That's my question.
Probably a bit of both, I would guess. It looks like he's been... either way, he probably thinks he's at WSOE and he's trying to get some bonus points or something, but we're not doing bonus for car kills here. Navi pulling up into the yellows on the coastline. They've, of course, just had to rock up the land into Primorsk. Pokemon actually trying to scout out and see if we can get a bit of a better spot. Dignitas coming in from Severny. M19 on the way round, going around the north here. Chris getting pushed. It's Lions versus Liquid once again. We knew this was going to be a thing, but Samty has been taken down. This backfiring on them horribly. Scoom gets knocked out by Chris as well. What is going on? Jinx is in all sorts of trouble. Chris gets taken heavily damaged from the back there. He's going to get pushed around the side. Ibby taken down to nothing. Luckily, no grenade, it seems, for Chris. But look at Hezreal giving the overwatch from up on Everest.
Chris has been real hero. He's always been the guy who's been going to the decision earlier. More often than not, he's actually been able to defend these spots. We saw it yesterday in Miramar. He went first to Church, where they actually ended up winning the game. The next game he went to the power grid, killed off Knights. Now he's done it again. A solo man holding down the compound. Really impressive performance from Chris, at least in the early game.
And as you were talking about earlier on, obviously looking at FaZe, Moonwolf, Knights. Knights slowly on the move now, set to destroy, still a long way out. Penta just about on the move for Vitality, but it is going to be a late push. FaZe are going to have the blue on the back. They may even end up being in the blue and rotating. Expect them to take a big deep south run. It's something they used to do a long time ago. And absolutely, if you were to look at the map, you can see that that is probably the route to take right now.
Definitely. FaZe, they always end up on the south side in this circle. If you look south of where Turtle and Belloc is, they usually end up on that hill, and then they try to scout from that general area and then move further towards the zone. And if it ends going to either the side, then they can always shift around.
Oh, Pride from Wildcard, still very much split apart.
And this is what I'm talking about. It's so hard to hold this compound with only one guy.
It's greedy.
I mean, it's greedy to some extent, but also if somebody crashes, he can't defend all sides.
There's no way.
I feel like even when you're two at this compound, you're so exposed. Like, you can't hold all three angles.
Well, so you've got the hillside behind you as well, the ridge, so they can easily approach you. Vitality coming over the west bridge as they work their way off the map there. Moonwolf also chose to go over east bridge and then west bridge. Interesting. Chose they obviously seen Penta. They must have spotted Penta on that coastline. Like, okay, we don't want to mess with that. We'll just risk it and go over Sosnovka. Vitality unaware of that. So Moonwolf, seen them do this before. They used to do this at PGI. Moonwolf did this rotate. This exact same rotate when you had a lot of the circles over on the west side. Just saying, FaZe got 0 circles on the east side in the PGI qualifiers.
I mean, if you look at the map, Penta
Actually,
is kind of...
They got 2, I'll tell a lie.
But I mean, yeah, but I mean, if you look at Penta, they're actually holding that position, so it makes good sense for Moonwolf to do.
And looking at the Knights, actually very close to Vitality. Vitality are going to stop on this hill. They normally do. It's going to be, it's a hill. It's actually the rogue spot that they pull up on. So this tells me that maybe Jazza or Yannick are making calls in this team now.
I'm pretty sure that Yannick is the guy who's making the calls. Yannick.
It's like a mix of the two, Jazza and Yannick.
This is no. This is one thing I hate. Okay, YNCK. I mean, he says it's Yannick, but there's no way that YNCK is pronounced Yannick.
To be fair, I mean, I know Sadakist obviously mentioned Yanko yesterday, and I remember when I started doing PUBG, I called him Yanko as well.
YNCK is not Yannick. I mean, I have a straightforward way of thinking, and no way can I get YNCK to Yannick, but he insists on it being Yannick.
Yeah, he does insist on it being Yannick, I guess. It's the style of it. Knight's actually taking a deep south run. Moonwolf also doing the same. Set to Destroyer, we're watching just a second ago. They're going deep north, so it's a high north run. M19 themselves done a similar path and are going through the North Georgiopol area. So they're coming right across. Batalon being the man that's going to lead it, and he's actually going into South Georgia and probably going to sit on the edge of that. So a lot of big south runs. FaZe Clan coming in actually north of Pachinki.
Yeah. I mean, I would say it's kind of unexpected, but when we look at the map, it's great for them. It's the only side of the map that's actually really clear.
Oh, and it's a good central shrink for the map. It pretty much goes donuts. It pretty much goes central. The circle shrink, which is going to cause it problems. FaZe Clan should just be able to get inside. They've got a bunch of compounds north of Chopsticks that they can go into. Ghost are working their way in towards the yellows to the north of that. You can see everybody else starting to come in. Moonwolf, as I was saying, big southern swing from them along the road. Really taking their time to go around, not boosting, so they're making most of their fuel they've got in those vehicles as well. Something we haven't mentioned a great deal. McCoy finds himself a shot on the head of Giga from Sangal. That is very much central, just north of Gatka. Ghost, of course, did just move into the yellows there. They have Team Gates on the north road of them. Lions, who were up on the Everest spot, they're actually taking a couple of shots down onto Team Liquid as we see Team Gates here down the south side, and Ibi has been knocked. So that's Dignitas actually in Warehouse's South Georgia pole.
I think it's only Teams left at this point. And they had a bad game in the last game. Yeah, Ibiza's down and finished. It's only Teams left. And I think they went out in 14th spot.
14th, yeah, last game.
They can't start having too many of these flat games. I mean, one, it's really bad for your momentum and confidence, and also they're going to start lagging a little bit behind on the leaderboard.
Well, I mean, I managed to speak to James, and he said, look, it was my call, it was a bad call. Just that sometimes you make them. It was too aggressive in the last game, and it completely took it on him. He said, yeah, I said it was a touch of overconfidence after the gates, and he was absolutely, that's totally where it is. It's Zamti and James that make the call in the team. He said, that was my call, it was a bad one.
But from a mental point of view when you're playing, when you have one bad game, it's like, okay, but 2 in a row, it's going to, like, you're starting to, okay, this is not good. The other team's starting to get a lead, and James is almost taking down here.
There's nothing. He's next to a vehicle. Vehicle could easily get exploded. He gets up to the dash. He realizes he has to just back away from it. Doesn't matter. Wookie finds him in the smoke.
Boogie's like,
leading the kill chance.
I'm going to keep the top break here. James, you're gone.
Well, that's Team Liquid going out in 16th place. Not a start from them. FaZe Clan, that's a big aggressive swing. Yeah. They're actually going into Gatka. Kickstar's been on his own in Gatka for a long time. So FaZe Clan, 2-2 split. They've took North compound of Chopsticks and 2 into Gatka. And you see Kickstart having a peek and like, oh my God, who's pulling up on me here? Because he's all alone. Remember, Wildcard very much split. I think Pride has possibly joined Tumai.
I don't think Exciting knows about him unless he makes a step now. And Pride gets picked up on the other side of the map. Do you think Excetti have heard him? He seems like he's suspicious. I mean, Kickstart, when you're ADS in and you move around, you make like small noises. So he might have heard that. Because he's being very cautious.
He's definitely heard something, hasn't he? He's checking every corner of that building. Yeah. Pride finished off by Na'Vi, which takes Wildcard down to 2. Tumai very much separated from where Kickstart is. Kickstart, I think, just tried to take a couple of shots onto
took a few shots onto
Fuzzface there. Yeah, it didn't work out for him. So now they absolutely know where he is, and that's a problem. Fuzzface going to give. The thing is that FaZe don't know how many are in here. They're not aware there's just one guy.
Don't have a clue.
So they're actually, Hacksteady down. Is he going to be able to crawl away from that one? Kickstart gets the knock on him. Mex is going to come in and say, okay, the cavalry's on its way. Jemti and Mexi making the way across. As we say, they're unaware that this is one guy. They're probably thinking, okay, there's one here, but where's the rest of the team? Which is why they called the cavalry.
But maybe, I mean, they could have seen Pride. He just got knocked and finished. So maybe they have an idea.
Yeah, but they don't know it's Wildcard they're against. Well, they do now.
They
just got the knock, right?
I mean, it's very hard to pick up when it's hectic and everything is happening. But a team like FaZe, they could maybe be aware that his teammates got knocked and killed the other side of the map.
Well, they wouldn't have heard. They know they've been knocked and killed.
I mean, if there's one team that would pay attention to it, it could definitely be FaZe.
Yeah, especially when the other two are off the side. As you can see, everybody well inside the circle. M19 made a really good run, actually. If you think about the path that their man set to destroy
I'm actually
Taken.
kind of impressed with M19 because we always see them ending up in these big cities. And they always manage to get out of the cities and actually come into a really good position.
God, yes, thinking of Miramar game. How they ever got out of Picardo is beyond me.
And also, like, they just go to a bunch of cities, I feel like. Way more than anyone else. And that's a strength.
Suddenly, the FaZe Clan compound and north of Chopsticks is actually one that I would go back to.
I mean, you see Jemty, he's already heading back. He's like, guys, if you want to kill this guy, that's fine. I'm going back.
Yeah,
I want my yellow houses back. And yours yellow houses.
Ooh, is he going to get there in time? Penta are actually going for it as well. Brexico and Jemty both going for the same compound. I think Brexico is going to maybe pull up and stop before he gets there. Jemty is going to head back to it. I assume the rest of FaZe Clan will probably get in vehicles because that western side of the circle that they're in right now at Gatka is about to get very congested. They need to get in the cars and get the hell out of there. They've got the revive. I think they're going to have 3 in a car to get out, and they may just do it in time. As you can see, Balok continuing. Did he take the tires out of that car? That's the car they want to use to get out. Kickstart trying to rattle and peacock as much as he can to keep people away from his town. Tumai has joined him in Gatka as well, so the support has come in. FaZe Clan have evacuated. They're going back to the northern compound at Chopsticks while everybody else moves around. Set to destroy, coming in north of Everest. M19, they took a big run.
What?
M19
what
went
did M19 do?
They were at hospital and they've gone all the way over Western Georgia Bridge.
It could work out because it was a fast ring to the east. And you can't really go straight through the circle, so it actually makes really good sense. Us looking at the map, I don't know if you want to bring it up, but the entire east side of the circle is clear, so if they just keep going east to the Hearts rink, This will actually work out great for M19.
They're going to go Edge of Ruins, right?
M19, they were below Hospital, and they went into the blue and all the way around.
Yeah, they went over the Georgia Pole Bridge, main bridge, through North George, and all the way back around. So they've took a really big snaking path to get into what they consider a safe spot. Knights are pulling up next to FaZe Clan. Moonwolf actually in the bottom of Chopsticks. FaZe Clan getting very occupied. They're going to light up the Knights. They get themselves a knock. Texas gets taken down. Knock comes in there. Smitty also knocked by Wildcard. Of course, that's coming across from the Gatka area. And look at this. Knights in all sorts of trouble. They get too close to the hay bales. Voxic's already down. Texas is knocked. They're getting lit up. Nade territory as well. They're going to try and light up that UAZ. Needs to explode it. Kramer can as much as he can. Try and give himself the cover that he requires. FaZe's going to go be careful. Moonwolf are in the ditch right on the south of it, which I think Gemty is keeping his eye on.
Yeah. This would be a catastrophe if Knight gets out. They just climbed their way into the top 5, I believe. They cannot have many more bad games.
Very greedy from Penta, by the way. They have Brexico right at the end of the left chopstick. They have Udia Mayfire on the south complete edge in the compound, and Kate and Christ. They're basically holding about 5 compounds
the reason
themselves.
why you have to do this is because when you go into the chopsticks, you can't really get your cars out safely. And if the circle decides to go up north here, you need to save at least 3 more vehicles, however many they have. So it actually makes good sense for them to stay back behind now.
Another knock on Knights. Kramer taken down by Turtle. Hasn't been finished off, but Gemty will get Moonwolf. This is what we were talking about. Moonwolf were peeking on FaZe Clan. FaZe Clan not having any of it. Set to destroy here. Taking a look down at Team Gates in the yellows. Oh, Survivor realizing this is a little too risky. Gonna maybe just took myself down there. Tries to find the head. Mossy, Snakers, beautiful shot onto Mossy there. Puts him down. Meanwhile, Rift also finished off. CeeLo getting the kill on him there. They've got themselves back around the side. Back over to Na'Vi. This is on the western side of the circle, shooting at Dignitas on Everest. Lions also on the top of Everest. Dignitas, this is not a spot they want to be in there, and it's basically a shooting gallery for Na'Vi right now.
This is a scary position. Na'Vi is probably one of the better teams to take these kind of shots. And Dignitas, they're in a really bad spot in there, and they're kind of split up. And we see Lions, they're actually pushing onto Dignitas from on top of the hill.
Circle shrinks away from, well, basically it goes on to Gatka and Sangal. This is actually really nice for them. Gatka also in there. FaZe's compound just about inside there. It does mean that Penta are going to have to shuffle on up. Are they going to probably go to the end of the chopstick there? Wildcard do get themselves a couple more kills. That is Nova out in 15th place. So Wildcard, just with the 2 alive with Kickstarter and Tumai, have actually managed to take down the entirety of Nova.
Yeah, Nova, they decided to stop at a not very good compound. And they got overwhelmed by, well, they didn't know how many was in Gatka. And I don't really know, like, how did Nova actually get killed?
Na'Vi on the move. You can see Lions also taking shots. They're going to be careful. Dignitas going around the north side of Everest. They would get to obviously taking a lot of fire from Na'Vi. Na'Vi making their way across. They're actually going to the ditch, the other side of the road. Pokemon there at the moment near Sangal. You can see just on the south side. Set to destroy, meanwhile, that were the other side. They're down to 2 now, and you can see, look at Exco. Exco's got a big old swing on Set to Destroy getting around the back of them. M19 here, who took that wide swing out in the path. They're working their way into the circle, actually approaching the south side of Team Gates and towards Ghost. They will have the hill to block them against Team Gates. Team Gates obviously occupied with Set to Destroy right now. Lions are also going to come into play. There's a lot of fighting probably going to happen in and around the Everest area, because there's a lot of teams at the moment that need to work their way into the circle.
Yeah, it depends how Team Gates goes here, but M19, they might get pincered.
Moonwolf taking a big swing. Look at Andy Pyro and Washout. They can actually end up.
Do you think they're going to crash in Gatka, or they're going to play the ridge like right above the G there?
Yeah, they're going to go the ridge.
Okay, yeah, it's a G there by Gatka, right?
Yeah.
It's a good ridge you can stop on.
Penta do go to the south side of the chopstick, so they're just going to go there. Moonwolf realizing they didn't want to mess with FaZe Clan. They'd already been knocked by it, so they knew exactly who they were up against, choosing to back away from it. They're actually going to end up right in the path of Na'Vi. Na'Vi lighting up Andy Pyro. He's going to try and come in. The rest of Moonwolf getting around the side. When we look at Vitality, they've moved into Gatka. They're going to try and push it to Wildcard. Wildcard down to 2 in that compound. Buckamolodoi, he's got the knock onto Andy Pyro. Now they're actually blasting into Gatka. They're going to join the melee that is going on. Vitality turn and fire. They managed to get Washout down, and Moonwolf in all sorts of trouble. I think just O'Connell and Edicos now left standing for them outside Gatka west side. Big hit comes in. Gemty down by Texas. That was the compound fight. Remember, Knights were down to, I think, 2 or 3. They managed to get a couple of revives in left and right. They are still at 3 members. They are still stuck as well. Ghost, meanwhile, trying to actually have a little move here on M19. M19 trying to push on the compound. Set to destroy, get taken out by Team Gates there in the kill feed. That was happening, obviously, in and around Everest. Lions also getting involved in that one as they put the sword to Team Gates.
Yeah, and M19 is getting picked apart here. Both Bottle and the lead player gets taken down. And Example is the last one alive, and he's just laying prone in the bush. We remember, we saw them running down, and they could actually have stopped a little bit further out.
CeeLo got nowhere to go for Team Gates.
Yeah.
In the blue. Circle 4, it's pounding on him. The health going to be required. Washout picked off. That's going to be the finish from him. Yannick will get himself the kill secured there. Dignitas moving back down the hill and peeking on towards Na'Vi, finding Wookie Bookie once again with that Kar 98. He's an absolute beast with it. Continuing to frag out at the top of the tables. Gets the knock. Can he conclude the kill? Doesn't look like it. Battleland has been taken down, though, by Ghost. And that's actually dealt with the one problem they had on the backside of their compound. Now they can look towards the north at Lions because the circle's gone their way. They can now gatekeep so many teams in the north.
Look at Gatka. Everybody has to leave. It's only really going to be FaZe, Knights, and Ghost who's going to be safe in the circle.
Penta's got to push on Knights, right? That's just going to be an easy push.
This circle, there's so few spots to play. This is going to be very chaotic very soon.
It's going to be hard for Ansvar and crew on the cameras to track all the battle. Lions have got a bit of a tough run down that hillside.
I expect to see a lot of people use cars now to use them as cover in the field because there's no real cover other than trying to hide in bushes. So when I see these teams actually use the vehicles, as many of them that actually save them, and try to build the car forts.
Yeah, Vitality would have used cars to get into Gatka, so you know they've got a couple of vehicles. Don't know what state they're in. Lions do not have vehicles.
It doesn't really matter because they don't have to move very far. If they have 2 vehicles or 2 tires, they can still just make it in.
Drag it along.
Yeah, they don't need to go very far, but you need them to actually get further into the game.
Another knock. This time on Sangal as they're working down. He is really landing those Kar 98 shots. Of course, it's a Shollanton compound. They're keeping their eye on Lions. They're both trying to work down. Meanwhile, Ghost, there's a car. It's going to be Chris trying to get his way across. Na'Vi getting some compound cars together. They're going to try and make themselves a vehicle compound as they have to make the move. The time is ticking on them. You can see it's starting to squeeze in now as they get the push around the side. Moonwolf, Edicott going for it as he tries to dash around. Chris gets himself right in the middle. The rest of Lions going to try and join them as they try and get central position. Trying to blast on through. M19 almost getting run over on the path as FaZe Clan take a couple more shots towards Knights, but Edicott is down. Moonwolf go out, I believe, in 12th position. Na'Vi coming round, going center circle. 3 vehicles battling straight into the middle, straight to use the crate as cover. Really nice work there. Let's see if it can work out for the Wookie Bookie. Gets another one on McCoy. That man is an absolute beast. They have all the UACs. They're going to get themselves a little compound set. The question is, what can they do with it? They've got Sangal on their backs.
I like this.
Look at the shots. Hear the shots. They're just peppering through. Shay gets knocked down. Buckamonde round the side into shooting range. They've got themselves a vehicle compound, but it is not a safe one. Drainius gets himself down, and Na'Vi in all sorts of trouble. I think just Pokemolodoy, the last man standing within there. He gets the revive through. No, couldn't get in onto Shade. Kate, meanwhile, gets Chris down. Lions have made the way through. He will get knocked out. Ghost and Dignitas going at it on the north side. FaZe Clan still sitting pretty along with Vitality. They're trying to make the move now to the north and pushing onto Sangal.
Gustav takes 2 shots at Pubg. He misses, but he actually made it inside the zone. Civil gets taken down low. Coming back up. Boogie Boogie. Can he hit the shot? He tries. Velox is still in the blue. He has to move in.
Has to make the move. Look at that. The shots once again from Gustav. You can't pick the door. You can't pick the window. Gustav popping the shots. The circle's updated. Pokemolodoy is inside there. Ghosts are inside there. This fight right here is for the lion's share of the north circle. It will basically give a really big chance. FaZe Clan are coming straight in behind them. Ghosts have got to turn around. FaZe Clan are blasting straight up to the compound. They've come for 4 vehicles straight into the compound right behind them. And now Balak's realised what is going on. We've just been pushed from behind.
That's an impressive move. FaZe, I think they got knocked earlier by one of them, and they know they were fighting, and they see the knocks, and they don't hesitate for a second. Now FaZe is in a prime position.
Profi's going to pick around the side. Balak gets spotted. The M249 is not going to be enough for him. Jemsy takes him down. Texas meanwhile and Brexco. So they're fighting down on the south side. Knights and Penta going at it while this FaZe can push in. Knights will deal with Penta. Penta go out in 10th place as FaZe can push on. Balak gets swept aside. Turtle got Gustav down as well. So Dignitas having to get a revive in at the moment. But FaZe Clan with a 2-2. 2 in the building. Push on to Balak. Ghost with 3 in one compound with FaZe starting to surround them. M19, by the way, still safe, still out on the edge.
Yeah, because all these big teams that have the compound, they're fighting. So we see people like Pubg, an example, and Bresu, they're actually managing to stay alive because of these chaotic team fights. There are
Vitality on the move. Where are they going to go? They're getting lit up by Sangal, by Pokemon. They see Pokemon. They get Shegsy down as they try and get the shots across, but even FaZe are getting involved in that. They're taking shots. Third party everywhere right now. Wookie Bookie down. Dignitas out in 9th position. Ghost Wolf conclude that fight. Now they can turn their attention to FaZe Clan.
Do you think FaZe should be pushing when they know one of Ghost got knocked and already killed one? Now they're giving them time to rest.
I think they're just happy to hold the compound. They know that Ghosts are in there. It's probably risky to siege it at this point. Maybe try and get themselves set up. McCoy gets himself another Vitality in trouble. They get themselves the kill. They will wipe out Sangal. Sangal go down in 8th position. Meanwhile, the Knights, by the way, have moved in. They've got the south circle. They have Lions right next to them. They've no idea that he's there, I think, Rezu. They've got themselves a little vehicle compound set up there. Vitality doing the same. Make sure they don't run over Yannick at this process. So now, obviously, we have Ghost and FaZe at the top. Knights, Lions, Vitality, M19 outside. 7 teams in this circle.
Yeah.
There's nowhere to go. Pokemon must be literally hugging that crate, and he is.
He definitely is. This is crazy. We need to see FaZe and Ghost. They're going to need to have a stand-up. And then later on in the game, FaZe, they can use the vehicles. If they don't win this game, this team fight with Ghost has to go really, really wrong.
Ghosts are trying to move out. They know they've got to get out of the circle, so they've actually moved out of the compound. FaZe unaware, because they're still looking at the compound that they were in. Gemty having a little peek around. He's keeping his eye on what is going on down south. He's got a clean shot on him. He should be able to secure the kill here, and he will. No! Pokemon steals it. Yannick gets taken down. Mexi, meanwhile, tries to get a couple of shots off. The circle shrinks. It goes onto Pokemon, the only man in that circle right now. Everybody else has to make this open field run. FaZe kind of got vehicles, remember, so they can set up a compound, but they still need to deal with Ghost.
They do. And if they try to overpeak towards Ghost, then Knights, they will actually shoot at them. So this actually got very, very difficult. So what do? Do you try to take up a vehicle compound? But then you can get naded.
The Knights have got vehicles, remember. They've set themselves up. They stole Penta's vehicles. No, Mexi's got a vehicle as well.
Okay.
Yeah, they stole Penta's vehicles and moved into that spot. So they can, if they need to, set themselves up a compound and get into the circle. Because look at the territory. It is open cornfields right now. There's no real cover in there. Mexi, he's actually got a very good cross angle on Ghost if they try and push down.
Yeah, I think FaZe just have to move late and then go in. I don't know if the rugby scene from the GM season, but if you can park a car there, they're going to be really good. But it all comes down to which teams start to clash and then who gets third party. So you see everybody is extremely cautious.
Circle shrink about to come. 1 second. Here we go. Movement time. Who's going to make the push? Smoke's coming out from Turtle. FaZe are actually contracting on towards them. They're moving on Ghost. Gemty in the circle. Mexi holding the angle here with the tree. They see the circle. They see the smoke. They know that Ghosts have to make the move here. Knights are coming in. They're coming in vehicles on the south side. They're going to get themselves a little setup here. Mexi pops out, chucks a nade, and backs away. It lands. It finds his target. McCoy goes down. They're not going to have time for the rest. Haxedi comes around the back of them. He's going himself an angle on the hillside. Profi tries to get a little peek back, but it's not working out. There's third party coming in. FaZe are getting lit up by Knights from distance. They're trying to get themselves involved. Now Gemty has to turn his attention towards them. Pokemon takes down Vitality. Vitality go down in 7th place. Navi gets themselves yet another kill. Profi lit up. Gemty will get him. McCoy goes down as well. And FaZe Clan have done what they needed. Turtle's the only man standing with FaZe Clan. But FaZe, I think they need to forget about Ghost right now and look towards Knights, who are taking shots.
Well, I want to look at this Resu. What is he going to do? Resu takes down Drayden as he gets into a vehicle, and now he's giving away his position.
Pokemon finishes him off as well. So now Drayden goes down. Navi, Pokemon taking shots on FaZe Clan. He's all alone. He doesn't care. The mighty Russian wants to give what he can. Lefty gets Turtle down. Ghost goes down in 6th position. Pokemon, he has such a great spot. He's tier 3'd out of his mind and taking shots on everyone right now. Obviously, don't worry about that. He can see through the windows there. He's just spraying and praying. The circle shrinks and it goes on to Texas. Rezu from Lions.
Look at Example and Kramer. They were just in between Jemti.
Jemti's got around the backside. How has he got there?
They didn't shoot at him. They almost heard him. They were both looking at him.
FaZe was still with 4 alive. Knights with 2. Lions with 1. Na'Vi with 1. M19 with 1. 5 teams coming into Phase 8. Texas sees Mexi.
I think FaZe is going to get into the circle for free while everybody's just trying to snake it out.
Rezu is slowly creepy crawling his way in. Jemti and Mexi now very much in the circle. The thing is, they've got to be looking at the circle and got to be looking at that tree that Texas is on. Look at Mexi. Mexi's about to run straight over Texas. He's going to see him. There we go. Texas goes down, but it's not. So now they know there's another alive for Knights. They're aware there's one more in there. Mexi gets himself another kill.
It's a full from FaZe and 4 solos left. And when you're in this position as a solo, you just want to try and get position.
Jemti has the south circle. Mexi has the north circle. Pokamolodor tries to make the move and Fuzzface tracks him down. He's been lighting up everyone. That's the 8th kill and counting. FaZe Clan, they said they will win 5 games today. This would be the 2nd chicken dinner of the day for them, the 3rd of the tournament so far. The #1 team here at GLL. They spot Rezu. They find him. Lions go down in 4th place. Knights just off to the side and M19 behind them. He's the only man, example, that they've not noticed. They see the Knights. They will take them down. 3rd place for the Knights. It will be FaZe Clan that will take the chicken dinner with 11 kills. Example will creep his way into the circle, but really, in a 4v1 situation, there's nothing he can do. He will get spotted out. Hack said he's going to run towards him. We can't even see. We're going to see the session timeout, but it doesn't matter. There he is. Hack said.
It's actually really hard to see them.
It is really hard to see them. FaZe will find it. It's the 2nd chicken dinner of the day for FaZe Clan and the 3rd of the tournament. They were already at the top of the table and now they put themselves some serious big points differential between them and the rest of the teams. 11 kills once again for FaZe Clan. Incredible stuff as we finish out the halfway point on Arangal.
These teams, because the central circles on this map is just so much easier to get into in the first circle, and it really accommodates these teams that just want to go on foot. But we saw when the Dignitas they won that game, the whole road going through from Picado up towards Hacienda, like it's so open, that space.
Can I just say, as a self-proclaimed alcoholic, not really, I get mad when people call it Hacienda because I like Patron.
Del Patron.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's just a personal note. I just thought I'd put that in there.
We do have a plane, wonderful plane coming over, though, from the west to the east. Easily accessible anywhere. I mean, only the far north you can't go there, but you can drop and you can get a car if you want to. Modifying the guys from Team Gates. They're going to get Pozo, Wildcat. They're probably going to go up to La Cabrera. And Nova and Ghost, they're probably going to be going Impala and Puerto, as we saw yesterday. We had 4 teams, actually, in Los. But now it looks like we're going to only have 2. They're changing it up a bit. Vitality, they're taking over the Minas Generales area because they contested Nova yesterday and they don't want to do it again. So Nova, they're going to be taking over Impala.
Well, they've got company there, though. Yeah, I was going to say Penta's going to be in that position already. Obviously, the road divides between the warehouses and the town. There's loot enough for one squad, but there's definitely going to be a bit of an argument between those two over position. They'll have a watchful eye on the other. Circle's obviously going to come in momentarily. We'll get a real indication of who's got the benefit of the shift, but you're right, that plane was absolutely perfect. Dead center gives everyone the chance. And I think, you know what, as much as I want circles all over this map, the plane being right down the middle, I think, is the best for everyone.
It's the best start,
If given this map conditions, and as you say, teams not being as acclimated or as warmed up on this map as the others. I want to point out as well on the desk, Lions, they talked about it, maybe lack of confidence today, having the slow Erangel performances. They were phenomenal here. Let's not forget that. Picked up win in Game 3 yesterday and had the lead after we were done Miramar.
And honestly, I think here they're still in 6th, which is okay. If Erangel is by far their weakest map, which we have seen after 6 maps now, I think they're going to be turning up here. But well, they have to if they want to go into the money. But they're nearly then slightly less than 900 points behind FaZe. But they're still very close to the top 2, which of course are hunting. We have seen a circle pop. It's not center. It's slightly off angle. These guys are actually in. You can see it on the minimap. It's slightly in Puerto Paraíso. And Impala's actually also in. But straight, smack bang in the middle, is La Pentita. And area, I like the endings to go on because, you know, the whole crater side, you can fight, it can accommodate so many teams. If it shifts kind of east of La Bandita, it's so much open space, and it's kind of hard for these teams to get into. But Team Vitality, yesterday, they contested 3 times in a row. Nova, they actually lost a few guys. But Vitality, they're, you know what, we're going to keep going here. And to be honest, for me, Minas Generales, it's not worth fighting for 2 teams. You cannot split it in 2. It's not easy. You don't want to take a fight. Again, this is 16 teams. There's lots of space on this map for everybody else. Even El Azaha is open. You know, Cruz del Val, Chiraponga, you could have taken a car and driven there. But we'll see that. Obviously, they have their managers and their coaches. So in the next game, we might see some slight changes as well.
Interesting to note as well that it's obviously just an observation for the keen eye. Na'Vi love the bottom right of maps, or bottom left, excuse me, of maps, no matter what.
They do.
Whether it's Primorsk or now they're down toward the bridge, and they'll be there alone. And both times they're going to have a similar rotations. Valdemar for them. I want to point out just this circle being left without water and the absence of it. It's less predictable on this map too, which is something that teams can't really rely on.
Yeah, I mean, again, we have the majority of the teams that are going to come in from the left, but there's so many roads in the map. This is the 4th iteration of Miramar. There might come some even more slight changes. All the dirt roads that have been added so far, and everything just kind of makes rotations available or able to in the first and the second circle, but then on foot later it's just so much easier.
The interesting thing for me is the second shift. If it includes La Bandita to Impala, I consider that no man's land. That field, that cross from La Bandita to Impala is so open, and there's just nothing to work with. Whereas if this, I think, stays south, if it goes north of that, sort of on 3rd circle or 4th circle, then we're onto something. But if we go south on the next shift into the 2nd circle, there's so much more available to them. Now, I do know, talking to Andy outside, obviously Andy from Method stepping in for Moonwolf in this event, he said he absolutely hates circles that go down toward Aparicio.
Okay, yeah. I mean, it's all the whole area down there. You can see how black it is on the map as well. If you're having the map stream open, GLL_map, if you're running a multi-stream. But you can see with that as well that it's extremely terrain, the elevated area and everything. But I actually love it. I love seeing it. I hate playing it because it's extremely difficult because it can accommodate so many teams.
And it's so gradual, right?
It is.
It's not like there's one high ground here and another there.
No.
It's from left to right. It drops drastically. In fact, it's probably the biggest shift in the entire map.
Yes. I love the topography on the map down there. I really like it because it really enables all the teams to be able to come in. You're not, as you said, left in no man's land behind La Bandita and Impala, which is, you have 10 hay bales and a few shacks and a compound in there. And as you said, it's really hard fighting there. That's why there's so many teams in these kind of circles that go for, the compound, just one or two guys to make sure that lock it down, because those positions are so... they're so easy to get in the beginning, of course, because nobody kind of wants to go there. But also, if it's shift that way, you really want to have those positions. But as I said, for the duration of the map, they have added so many good ridges, more cover, more rocks, more trees, everything. So it really enables the teams to play on foot from 2nd circle.
So shifts already coming in. One to note, Sengel, who have had Georgia Pool all to themselves on Erangel. But they were quick every single time. Despite having so much loot up there and so much freedom, they were quick every single time. As Agroza sits in crate number 1. That's not bad. You can live with that. Full med kit as well, which obviously takes too long to pop when you're in a massive firefight, but full heal. It's interesting to note that they are super quick every single time to try and get mid-circle. The other teams that are on the move early, obviously we've got Team Gates. They're coming down from Pozo. A little bit of an exchange in mid-side of the map around that crate, and it's the other one that we have to watch out for is who's splitting up right now. We've got Rift going in from STDX. He's going to try and find some information, getting in closer toward Los Leones, which is now vacated, by the way. 2 teams starting there. No one wants to stay inside of that city, and I don't blame them. Southside City's a little open, and you can control your angles. Anything sort of past the embassy, right? Oh, those alleyways are lethal.
Extremely lethal. See, even more rotation coming in from the south here, actually. And
Sempti's got shots toward Sengel that's already moving down in, and not only that, Knights are in the same direction. So Sempti's got the shot from a hell of a long range, considering it's an M16.
That's a 300-400 meter shot right there.
Yeah, that's super impressive. And it's 6 times scope, if I'm not mistaken, that he had on that. So either way, he's going to try and push in, get the finish on this, get this over with. Don't let his team get anywhere near him. He's got Penta spotting out for Vitality, but everyone's starting to get positions in the hills to cross, to catch up rotations. There's going to be a lot of them in this circle.
Yeah, just east of La Bandita here. Very good compound to hold down for rotations. Very good compound to have in the first circle, especially when it's dead center here, because the rotations are you're really able to get anywhere from there. If it swings west, you can go there on foot. If it swings east, you still have your cars safe. Nice finish here. He's going to get all he needs. Actually, a level 2 helmet from him as well, because he didn't headshot him.
So that's 2 solos.
He just blew himself up in his car, and he's dead.
Oh, no.
He's out.
For FaZe, that's a huge... I hate driving on this map, I'm not going to lie. It's a difficult endeavor, but that's one gone already for FaZe. That'll be a welcome sight to anyone seeing that kill feed for all the other teams who are well aware that FaZe have extended well and truly into the lead today. 2 players... Three out of 5, but the 2 top killers in this tournament are both from FaZe.
Yeah.
You've got Fuzzface, and you've obviously got Gemty on that list. They've got 2 wins out of 3. They said they want 5. They have to sweep Miramar to get that, by the way.
I don't expect them to do that. I mean, it's...
I don't either, let's be honest.
They grinded points on the Wrangle. It looked too easy for them, honestly. But we'll see here in Miramar. We've got 6 Miramar games in a row. We'll see how well they adapt to this. And again, because they haven't played it that much, there's come a lot of new changes to it, you know, everything with the new dirt roads and everything. I'm not sure they've played it enough to know all the small dips. They know exactly how our angle is lined out. Every small dip, everything they know how to play.
FaZe in a bit of a fight with Team Gates as they come over from the backside toward Picado.
Yeah.
Southwest side, and immediately spotted up 2 players. Gemty's going to jump inside of the car. They'll reset themselves inside of Picado, where Liquid's already vacated from. He's got a little bit further forward. Just to note as well, every team that's set to scout, so M19, I shouldn't say every team, but set to destroy Rift. I mentioned he was on his own. He got found transferring through the map and is already gone. So we've had 3 teams, to make that 4, excuse me, with the inclusion of FaZe's unfortunate circumstances behind the wheel of a car, that have already lost 1 player. Which was actually something that didn't happen yesterday too often on these Miramar fights, because the circles didn't create any transitions, at least not in this amount yesterday. Wildcard, the only team that's not inside of the circle, they're still coming down from Cabrera and obviously up toward the ruins. They had, I think it was Sharpshot going over in that direction, trying to find loot of his own, but they'll take their time. They've got no one actually gatekeeping that side of the circle. Obviously, second shift is going to be detrimental to them if it goes south, but they'll have lots of time to get in there. Meanwhile, Liquid, Ibi, as apparently Ibiza, despite me my whole life being told that's how you pronounce the name of the island, was wrong according to Twitch chat, and they are the Holy Grail. So
he calls himself Ibiza, but I mean, if we call him Ibi, everybody will still understand. Mexi, of course,
Ibi.
The 3rd player, as you said, in the top 5 of the fraggers, though. Liquid, though, they're wanting some blood here. They want to make sure that, as Frost said, that this is Liquid Mar or Liquid Mar. Oh, how he wanted to pronounce it. Ooh, this nade could be good if it's not cooked. It's gonna roll a long place. Oh, wow.
As if you could, that's like a pool shot. You're bouncing around everything on the way to the hole, but it's got a lot of problems. He sees the other nade. He's got to get further down the hill. He's already tagged up considerably and in running. He doesn't have a lot of coverage. The high ground to Liquid, and Gems will put him down. It is indeed their map, and it's the city they drop into. Mexi, that far forward can't do anything of it. So him now gone. FaZe down to 2.
Yeah.
They sit at the bottom of the chart for this game.
They're not in a good game for the start. Again, Miramar, they're not as good as the Wrangle. We gotta admit that. They absolutely dominated the Wrangle here the first 3 games that D-Man and Lasten casted. We'll see. They might be able to snake it in. Multiple times we've seen them, when they lose a few players, 1 or 2, they go into salvage mode. They just sneak their way in and somehow manage to get into the top 5 with a few kills.
I was wondering if we were going to snap to this. I thought Shaky's might try and take the shot. Sengle's already spotting 1 player going by. The other option is that they get the information he's solo. The rest of the convoy is heading in that direction. They've now given up their position, so they might have problems at the bottom side of Graveyard.
Yeah.
I don't remember the name of that place. I avoid that place like the plague.
Chris here taking down Andy, actually, with a nice headshot with the Khan 98. Now, Shakesy, that is a wide AK spray with the 6X right there. Nice control, though. He doesn't even have a compensating on it. His sensitivity must be through the roof to be able to control that. Yep. We see here as well, on the map here, you see how spread out the teams are compared to Wrangle. They're so much more congested on Wrangle because they know exactly where to play everywhere. They're much more waiting and patient for the second circle, because the second circle is so much more important on this map. Because you need to be in this. You need to be in the center. You need to be closer to the center.
Penta's got to be. Don't interrupt. A little bit careful here. The position at La Bandita, it's got lots of coverage immediately around it, but the fact that they're surrounded and now have information by Knights that they can be pushed in there, that's a hard position to get out of in transfer. So new circle goes toward a southern shift, pretty equilateral from top to bottom, so there won't be too much problems for teams like Sengal and whatnot, but you've got Dignitas that are outside of it. M19 will transfer no problem back through Leon's. It's a bit awkward to do, but Ghost can gatekeep on Nova, and they're already taking shots toward Purdy, so they're aware that he's there. If they even transfer low on the Nova side in the 2 cars, they could then run in toward M19. There is a shift available. It's hard to drive it, but if they go all the way around and get toward the southwest, they can actually take the backside of the circle and be in a perfect position to stab out teams like Set to Destroy, get in behind Na'Vi, make things awkward. Meanwhile, Gates again getting into an exchange. They know WC's close by. Surprisingly, Sharpshot doesn't get spotted by Exco looking through the window, but he is taken down either way. It's going to be FaZe actually coming in from FaZe from a distance to get the kill, and now it's Liquid on top of everything. So the fact that Gates is here, we've got third parties from 2. Good nades, Pride. He gets taken down eventually by the gun. The nade forced him off the angle, and now Wildcard, surely the first team to go down, have just kickstart remaining, and Liquid are well aware that Gates is also in this fight. Now, they haven't shown up in the kill feed, but they'll know there was another team in the building that has yet to contribute, and therefore they could actually push and take over this entire compound. Yeah. Team Gates has done really well to keep 4 up in this, considering that you had FaZe and Liquid firing in on that.
Yeah, they have a very good spot here in this compound, staying inside. They know now, though, that Liquid is outside, as you said. Kickstart slightly on to the southwest of them. He's just going to hope for the best, hope for the circles to go close to him. He's got a little shack there.
Na'Vi, meanwhile, getting some shots off towards Set to Destroy. That's going to allow M19 the exact swing we mentioned. They won't go as far south as expected, but they certainly... Nova is. They've gone all the way down back toward Pariso, so they can now come back in through Leon's. But M19 has good positioning. They're just a little bit split up, so taking fights will be the harder part for them, but certainly they can get a ton of information as to the positioning. Konstantinovic has other ideas. He's going to put pressure onto Na'Vi.
No rotation here. As you said, they're going to come far left, and as you see on the map here, it's actually quite open, so they can come in, sneak in on the left hand side here, and let's see. So as well, Vitality, big rotation as well. Dignitas, they had to do it because they're so far out on the eastern side of the first circle, so they have to try to come around. Clever rotations coming in because they know that they might be gate kept, because there's so many teams in the middle, because basically the middle of the first circle was the edge of the second circle because of that hard shift.
I just want to point out, too, Penta made a really good move to get out of Bandita clean and easy, but the Ghosts are on their case, and all the outskirts of Leon's get extremely awkward. There is a massive open area, and Lions are holding it well. They've got the ridge by the road, offered toward, obviously, Picado. You get toward that whole cratered area. There's so much you can do with it, but it does leave a lot of open space on the cross, specifically down that main highway.
Yeah, this is one of the newer dirt roads I talked about. Very nice that they added these for easier rotations. Yeah, they had to. I mean, it was so hard to rotate it after the second circle, especially when we still have 50 plus 50 people alive. It's just going to be the players. It's going to be so congested inside the circle that you can't really rotate unless you just want to go straight in to a team and die. Be kicked up there. Now, again, Ibiza. I think this is the third time that Ibiza has run down James.
Watch out, the van, it's rolling.
He did, though. James did walk behind Ibi. So he walked behind the car just when he sat in. So, I mean, you got to be careful.
Don't walk behind a horse or you'll get kicked.
Exactly. Especially with the cars here.
That's a pun about their logo,
yeah,
so you know.
It
worked on many levels.
That was actually multiple layers here of puns. I like it.
Moonwolf's going to engage onto Ghost. New crate in has an AUG in it. The first one never touched, and it never will be, deep inside of the blue.
I doubt the next one is going to be as well. I doubt the next one's going to be touched as well. Everybody's trying to get into the middle, unless the circle shifts east and somebody gets forced on that side. Well, we'll see. Vitality's going to be able to make it in. Dignitas on the high ground there, but Vitality is going to be making it easy in here. They're going to be coming all the way into Picado on the northern side. They don't know that yet, but they can stop, wait for the next circle to just close in on them, which is in 5 seconds. They're going to be swapping out some cars and getting some Mirados. Super fast muscle cars. Let's look at the next circle here. As I said, it's going to shift, slide to the east here, so there might be a team picking up that AUG and that full level 3 gear right there. This is very, very good for Ghost, and look at that. Moonwolf straight in the middle with a 1-1-2 split in some of the best places in this next circle here.
Edukos absolutely knows that a shot from Ghost was just fired toward his teammate. He's turned his attention. Moonwolf could easily converge on that position. You're right. They've got the best opportunity to get toward that crate, but they've got center circle. Liquid's already on the move. The rotation from Dignitas is going the other way. They've gone well and truly back inside of the blue. They want to rotate back toward Bandita, so they're going to be the biggest shifters and movers in this circle. The rest from the south at Leon's, get ready for a massive battle on the outskirts of the city.
Jazza just drove and knocked himself, unfortunately, with the car again. And this is just, again, it's because of this elevated areas. These cars, when you stop them, they just start rolling and you get hit, right? So it's quite hard to control them.
Sucks for the sake of meds.
It does, indeed. You're going to lose a first aid kit and a booster from that. Oh,
good
Lions,
shot,
though.
Lions. Yep, absolutely. That's a phase member down. Remember, they're already on just 3 players remaining. Excuse me, on 2 players remaining, and with 1 already knocked, Jempty's going to be the last left alive. Fuzz is out of the equation. There's no way you can get toward him because Lions are looking over him, and Vitality's lost Monkey as well. Sengel finally getting some positional in their favor, as Vitality has to transfer directly by them. Sengel's got the edge of the circle in their favor. It's all about Jempty at this point, though, because Team Gate's working in. Kickstart's still sneaking in behind them, but they can easily push on to Jempty. He's got to go aggressive just to stay alive. And here's the transition between both of these teams at the northwest side of the circle, as Sengel has high ground. Vitality really has nowhere to go, and they've got a ridge they can play on the right side, but even when they get to the bottom of that crater, it's wide open again.
That's going to be completely open. Liquid's already in there, so they're trying to make a move through that crater. There's some okay cover everywhere, but if you're in the high ground there and you're looking down the crater, you can just spot everything. Shakesy is going to spot another Vitality member. Ooh, and BSD is going to take down Jazza and Yannick. Look at that. And now Vitality is down to 1 member. 2 of them knocked. Shadow might be able to get
FaZe
up Jazza.
Is out. FaZe is gone at 16th. Jempty was taken down immediately. It's Team Gates that actually pushed in. He had nowhere to go. They got caught in transition, and Liquid were onto them from the very beginning of this game. If they have the confidence on this map, they certainly showed that by getting the first kill onto FaZe and then holding them and forcing... Put it this way. After they lost to Picado, FaZe had no option but to go south. They could not run back toward Liquid. They can't take that fight. Liquid is a team that has the skill to easily control that situation. And then they were pinched because Team Gates got behind them. So really unfortunate rotation timing from FaZe in this game, as Krama trying desperately for Nightfall. Fire with a 6x on an M16. Not a bad weapon for this map in this situation, but he can easily get range toward Dignitas so far as he can see them. The problem is they're going to beat him to the compound and get better positional control in front. That shift as well from the last circle's taken most of the main compounds out of it. Again, it's the south side or north side of Lyon, south side of the circle that has the most amount of coverage. M19, Nova, they're all transferring out. STDX has gone well and truly back through the blue, so too as Dignitas did, and they're going to tank this all the way because they want to get, and rightfully so, they've read this well, they want to get the east side of the circle. There's really no one playing in that, and there's a lot of hills there. If that circle transfers to them, they're going to be in an okay position.
And Turtle is going to take down O'Connell from Moonwolf, so Ghost is on top of them. Texas as well. He's still out there. Gustav.
That's so awkward.
In a rough position. Multiple smokes, so he might be able to just make a smoke goal and run all the way into the guys here. Pubg is kind of the off angle, so he's shooting back at Krama. Krama taking down to less than 50% HP though. Wookie with a SLR. No, that's David here. Just an SLR here. He's just going to take more shots. Gustav. Ooh, one connecting actually. Gustav taking low again. Here, Profi.
Profi's been getting information like crazy for Ghost. He's not lurking so much on his own this particular map. He's been actually playing a lot off his team, but good hold. Shift is actually...
Look at that shift.
It's fair enough. I mean, going north, Liquid's got the dead center of it once again. Kickstart's still snaking, by the way, but it's Vitality forced by Sengel to go south. They run into Team Gates, and they are now gone. As Vitality bows out in 15th place, our second team to be completely removed. Remember, that is all well and good for Kickstart. Just by being a snake in this and outlasting teams, he's going to gain points. He almost has some advantage of being unsighted in all of this, but the shift is going to work against him in some senses because everyone's converging on that lower side, that lower west side. And Na'Vi trying to outrun M19 and Nova because they're in battle between each other. Again, working outside of the city at Lyons. Even them just getting held up. Have Penta still to confront when they try and even get beyond that. So they can avoid each other so much as getting over top of the hills and getting toward the road, getting toward the south side of the circle. But then immediately they run into, it's like out of the frying pan into the fire. They're going to run into 2 other teams that have so much vision and such an open area that they have to cross. That road at the bottom of the circle, by the way, get north of that if you want to weigh your odds right now.
And not cross it directly. You kind of want to get around. You see Ghost is doing it here, right here. They're going to be running straight into a crate as well, but they're going to have Set to Destroy just above them, so they might run into them later. Wiki Boogie shooting back. Oh, nice at shot. Texas. He's a killer. Currently, before this game, he was the 3rd top fragger out of the 64 players we have here, so he's an absolute beast.
And I'll bet you if you put his kills together in terms of distance, he's way further in his shots than anyone else. He has been hitting some insanely long shots on Car 98s now with a Mini 14. So another kill found. And Dignitas, who picked up a win on this map yesterday, are in good position again with 4 players still alive to do so because they have control of the compound. Wookie Boogie's going to make the transition. They're going to move toward it. Knights is the only one that can confront them, but Uncivil can still work in behind them from the compound. He's got coverage to fire toward that bar. Meanwhile, Profi knows that Set to Destroy X were already in problems, that they were already taken down. Fignato's bleeding out, and he's going to try and push it over. Nade goes in. That should... Oh, did it get over the lip? I don't know if it did.
Oh.
Just barely shy, but the second one, the Molotov, that'll force them out. Oh. Flames down. It didn't quite get the kill onto Fignaldo, but he's still forced to move. Survivors also in the open. Profi's going alone. Solo push. Bullock's just barely getting behind him now. So the man who's aggressive gets there first. He gets Survivor down. And Fignaldo, nothing he can do. A perfect way to remove STDX. 13th place. They're gone, and Ghost will take up all the goodies. They still haven't touched that loot crate, but again, they've cleared this whole east side of the circle. That rotation, and as you say, not crossing directly over the road has worked tremendously for them, because now look at that. South side, no one wants to cross that road. You got M19. Elite players like, you know what, screw it. Someone's got to do it. He gets in a car, and he's just going to book it, because the only chance of getting by, he's already lost Simple, and he's got Konstanovic still out behind Na'Vi with nowhere to go. Lions are gatekeeping everyone. That's a super awkward position to be in.
You have like 5 teams down the south down here. Ghost, though, good position. It might look kind of open here, but don't let it be fooled here. It's extremely elevated, this area. Moonwolf's extremely good position. Liquid still playing 2-2 split in the 4th circle. That's kind of ballsy. I like it, though. Have a great position, still very open between them, so they can easily rotate if they want to. Single here, though. Taking a shot at Dignitas. All these teams are now coming together. Uba, good position as well. Na'Vi, they're going to be coming in from the southwest. They might be able to force out Team Gates. Down to 1 player. They're going to be taken down in 12th position here. And now they can easily rotate on the left side, on the western side here, into the zone and easily cross this road here, because it is very elevated as well on this side. Back to Sango. They've been fragging out this on this map here for sure. 3 kills already. Unsil's going to be taken down by Drayden. Oh, next circle's going to be having Liquid straight smack bang in the middle. That's absolutely insane for them. Fantastic for them.
And running a 2-2 split. This is, it's weighing out the odds of the rotations, but the fact that they're in, this is pretty damn good from them, I have to say. Wookie Bookie, the only one from Dignitas that's even in position to contest that. Moonwolf does have the only compound remaining inside, so that's fine for now. They could certainly hold that. Elite player can't contest it. He's left alone. Again, we said it. He basically abandoned the ship and said, guys, I'm crossing the road. Yeah. If it's the only chance we go any further at this point, because they had 3 teams that were holding them off with nowhere else to rotate. Penta's still playing this rather timidly as well in the south, but the next big fight has surely. Moonwolf's going to hold. There'll be some fire in their direction, but the next one's got to be Lions and Na'Vi, you'd expect. And even if Na'Vi want to avoid that and they swing left, it's Gems and Scoom that are just holding the whole left side of that circle. Yeah,
it looks like they decided to stay there. They don't want to move. I mean, when you get the next circle to pop, the first thing you want to do, if you want to move, you want to do it immediately, because everybody else is rotating. We'll see. Mikoy's going to take down Ghost, though. Or Ghost is going to take down a player. Gustav is going to be stolen by Shexy.
Ghosts are clearing. This is similar to what we saw FaZe do. They know that Moonwolf's exactly below them. Or sorry, excuse me, what Liquid do. When FaZe had the compound in the first map this morning, Liquid knew they couldn't take that fight. They cleared their side of the circle. Ghost is doing exactly that. They're fighting out of the circle, trying to get rid of everyone behind them because they cannot go south. Moonwolf has that whole compound covered off, so Ghost gets aggressive. They have no choice but to fight in this situation. As Knight's trying to evade as well, they're going to run directly into Adam from Dignitas, and he's certainly going to get run over. Breaks go, immediate kill, and it's brilliant because now they've actually controlled that top side. Adam's still down from Dignitas. Wookie Bookie's left inside. Ghost want to catch out Drayden. Meanwhile, bottom side of the circle, Navi's committed to working in, and it's Pokemolodoy that sits on low HP, but has to work the fact that his teammate's been run over and doesn't have anywhere to go because Scoom is holding them off. Exactly the fact that they try and avoid Lions and they get stuck with Penta now on one side, Liquid on the other, and it's a triangle of doom because Lions are pushing it over the hill behind them. Jeems knows it. He's going to just get rushed. He leaves the compound. Scoom's in tow behind him because he's aware. If these guys are all busy, if they're all fighting, if they're all reviving, all I need to do is get in and get a nade, but I think he's realized there's a timer on that play, and the lack of firefights in that direction, probably best he doesn't stick his head over the hills. Instead, though, it'll be Lions that do the work for him with Na'Vi getting absolutely picked apart. It's Pokemolodoy that's the only one left in really any situation to do anything because Drainy is removed from him. Completely separate. They're essentially in a 1-1 with nowhere to go, and Jeems and Scoom have already spotted Drainy. Massive damage onto them. Meanwhile, Moonwolf backside of his compound is going to spot out and immediately take out the shot toward Nova. Nova's not going to go any further, surely. At this point in time, they've lost 2 members already. Lost as well and truly removed outside of the zone. Zone coming in on top of them as well. Interrogate stuck inside with Purdy to play off of. They've got angles that are in favor, and the kill onto Washout, and Andy actually opens a lot to them because O'Connell stuck trying to rotate in. He lost track. Nova didn't have position in this fight, and O'Connell went for a rotation, a flank, and left Washout with nowhere to go but die, and now he's going to bail. He has to.
O'Connell left alone here. Very unfortunate for them, but he's going to make a mad dash for better position in the zone. Actually, in the next shack here, this is a little hay shack we see here that he could maybe run to. Ghost, though, looking at it, and Wookie Boogie straight smack bang in the middle as well. Scoom, Jeems, they are also making the move. move towards the guys from the team. Samti and EB, they're in a good position here. McCoy, though, spotted Sangal. Ooh, taking a headshot himself, though.
That good find. Rezu's taken out at Samti that actually gets the kill instead, but Liquid once again had that circle. Jeems is working back over in that direction, and Scoom's actually having Jeems already run that direction and clear it. Just going to grab a car and head that direction. So Azrael and Lions, who have been very impressive on this map, still sitting south, have one player from Penta trying to sneak in. Kate's ahead. It's a really awkward transition, but the team who's got amazing positioning out of this, two of them in fact, apart from Liquid, who's at the circle just about every time, Sengel at the top, and Ghost, who have been again clearing and avoiding Moonwolf and avoiding Nova where they are in that compound, now have the hill to fight over. The battle between them and Sengel really defines, I think, who takes control of the entire north side of the circle and arguably the game, because Liquid's going to be so preoccupied holding everyone off at the south. I see good shots. Not bad at all. Ooh, you're gone.
Yeah. King, they're going to be finishing off. They're going to be 9 kills already with 20 people alive. That's insane. Ghost, though, look at this. Let's look at Ghost here. They're going to get a great 2-2 split. Dignitas has 1 player left. Woogie Boogie in the middle. Sangal, though, is there as well. And look, Samti has spotted Pokemon, the last player from Na'Vi. Taking him down to just a sliver of life. And he's going to survive it, though. It's Samti. He's going to make a Jimbo nade. Look at this. It's going to be perfect.
Boom. See about... Oh, the bounce.
Oh, yeah. A slight bounce over the next one. Might be okay.
One.
Oh.
Maybe backboarded off the car.
It's a very good... He has a bridge here he can play off, so it's very nice because unless it just travels down there... Oh, there... Oh!
That's like every nade in the game. Just a constant airstrike.
Pokemon is going to make a move, though. Taking some shots as well. Multiple smokes. He's going to play the smoke game here. O'Connor's going to be taken down, so Moonwolf is out in 9th.
Sonic's, by the way, just trying to survive at this point. He's well in the blue. He just wants to outlive. If Pokemon goes down, he gets one more position on that alone.
Yeah, he just survived Moonwolf, so it's going to be great for him. Pokemon is going to be taken down. So he actually survived 2 players and now going down himself. So they're going to go out in 7th. So very good for the 6 teams left. We have 2 big teams. Liquid is alive, 4 guys, and Ghost, 4 guys. Zangle has 3 alive. Dignitas is made to the top 6 here. And then Nova on the southeast. But they have to make a run for it in the open. I hope they have a lot of smokes.
Yeah, Nova's positioning is the most awkward at this point in time. They have very little to work with in terms of coverage, and they've got to get out of that compound. Pollock's well aware of that. Keep in mind that Wookie Bookie is also just snaking at this point in time, so it really is a fight. Kinked in it, sure, fair thing for Penta, but it really is a fight between Liquid, Nova, Ghost, and that's about it. It's all about positioning. Sengel as well, actually, excuse me. They've got a good position at the top side, but Liquid's going to go for the big swing. This is a big rotation. They avoid that entire middle area that's wide open. They'll force Sengel in, and the fact that Ghost is behind them, this is huge play from Liquid. They're putting on a clinic in rotation on this map. We already saw how easily they disposed of FaZe and forced them into an awkward situation. James is spotted, but already has coverage behind the shack, and he's got time to work with on this zone coverage as well.
They're going to be pinch just in between 2 here, and Woogie Boogie is going to pay a huge spoiler as well. He's got a very good ditch to work with. We'll see now. The smokes are coming out. James is going to be taking down 1. So Sangle is out and finished off with Geeker, Shaxi, and BSD is still alive. Now Nova, they're trying to make some push here on the southeastern side so they can get in. But Balak really wants them dead. He's going to be putting himself in a position where he can just gatekeep them completely.
Liquid not overcommitting. They're being smart about this. They've given away Sangel's position as well. They've got to go hunting because now Ghost does fire in from behind. Ibby's worked in south circle. Kaint still trying to snake, is avoiding Nova, just trying to run in himself. And Nova's in the open. They're going for the transition. Now Liquid's trying to get shots. It's Ibby that's going to do it. Pollock's also transferred back down to try and cut them off. He might have vision any second as Interrogate goes down. Nova surely the next devour. This time, surely they can't pull it back in their favor. Pollock's going to take out Interrogate with the nade. James has lost kills to both Ghost and for Liquid, and for Nova, it's just Purdy, and it's not a very Purdy situation to be in at all because Kaint is still on one side of him, and he's really not got much to work with. Liquid's going to transition back below. James is getting spotted out. Ghost have taken center circle, and McCoy's going to swing. He's gone solo many times, and in fact, early on Orango went down a number of times yesterday, but this swing could be perfect because BSD and Shakies know that Liquid was to the right. They have no idea that he's going to be behind them. This should amount to kills, and I think this becomes a Ghost versus Liquid game very quickly.
I think so too. Purdy left alone, Kane left alone. They might spot each other down in the south. Scoom, good position inside the zone. Have a very good ridge to work with here, as you see. Shexy and BSD, they're just gonna lay down low though. McCoy play big spoil of those teams. Let's see. The Liquid guys. Oh, Gene's gonna be taken down by Profi though, and now they need to get him up. The zone is closing on them. 4 seconds left. We'll see the next zone, which is the 8th one.
McCoy's gone by.
Oh, and it's gone
McCoy's
east.
overlooked it. It's gone east, but McCoy's overlooked this. Ghost have made the right call. They went south. Pollock was watching toward Nova the whole time. They now have control of this. Liquid are going to leave teams. Take it back. Excuse me. I tell a lie. There is a second player that was resing him. I didn't see it on the minimap. So Scoom actually was on top of him. That'll leave all 4 players alive. But McCoy, okay, has gone back to find Sengel. This is a game that Sengel very much needed. They've had poor results throughout, but unfortunately they won't go much further. It is just BSD. McCoy's going to gatekeep them, hold them off, while the other players from Ghost hold the circle. Remember, they're the only ones with real estate. They control the fate of pretty much every other team trying to transition in. And McCoy, he's going to leave BSD and try and support because Scoom's in the open. James knows that they're high side of them and wants to rotate back on his own to control the situation, get a crossfire set that will protect Scoom as they try and run toward Ibby. And Kaint is still in this from Penta behind them. They don't know that.
Just snaking. Purdy as well is alive. Oh, Balak has a great position here. He's just on the edge on the southeastern side of the circle, the new one. And he can easily peek over. Purdy has popped the smoke to make sure that he is covered in Shroud. And Scoom here also pushing. They're spending a lot of time. 2 guys are spending a lot of time on making sure that Sangel will be taken down here. They're actually far on the west side.
Comes Kaint. Here comes Kaint. They didn't know he was there. Finds one already. Ibby's gone. Liquid lose a player. Scoom, now aware of it, is going to go immediately into the ground. Is he spotted? Kaint seems to have an idea as to where he is, but he's in the zone. He's getting tanked. Just barely gets in, but not good enough. Because in running, he leaves himself susceptible. He leaves himself open. Our other snake, though, is Purdy. And he's going to catch off everybody inside. Turtle, does he get the kill back? No. Pollock's gone down, and Purdy's still just sitting pretty now inside of it. He's turned this around. He's turned this around entirely. Profi's the next to fall. They don't know where Purdy is. And Turtle has to hit the deck because Purdy's absolutely destroying them. They're pulling Ghost apart. Seriously, good effort from Nova, but Ghost, having cleared out Liquid, turned all of their attention back that direction. And they owe a favor to Kaint because Ghost pick up a win, and Liquid got picked apart by a man they had no idea existed.
Fantastic play here by Ghost. And look at the amount of kills on them as well. 14 kills for them. Fantastic game. 440 points. Lost. And the guys from Nova, nice surviving in the end. Only 5 kills to the name. Liquid, though, look at that. They have 13 kills as well. Penta made a good effort there.
Can I just point out an interesting fact about Pittsburgh as they're rocking the black and yellow? That song is actually about Pittsburgh, black and yellow. They're the only team, only city in the world that all of their professional sports teams have the same colors.
Oh,
the
really?
Steelers, the Penguins, the Pirates, and now the Knights.
Oh.
There you go.
So it's black.
Black and yellow.
Black, yellow, or goldish,
goldish yellow.
and then white is like the third color. Whatever.
Yeah, unofficial.
Yeah, okay, cool.
This is another very even plane. So we get very similar to what we had last time. Slightly more southern toward the west, but still very easy
straight
to
here,
spread
like,
out.
Sharpshot and the guys from Wildcard straight
They're
up
just
jumping
straight
out.
jumping, yeah.
Yeah, they saw Elazaha was open the last game.
To be fair, they did this yesterday on Miramar as well, and they were going very early whenever they could. Last time they were around Cabrera and over toward the ruins, the trailer park, etc. This time they're going to go, as you say, over to Butthair. So good position. I always wanted to say that. I'm sorry, but they'll get as older themselves, and you're right. They would have scouted that last game.
El Butthair, I like it. I just want to point out you said that, but that's beautiful.
Thank you.
I mean, it's the obvious one. I've called it a few times. That it's. I mean, I'm not fluent in Spanish. I'm not good at Spanish, but I mean, I'm getting the hang of it.
It's better than my pronunciations on most of these locations.
That's good though. Down to Los Leones, Moonwolf M19, and looks like there's a Penta player. Chronix is just slightly off it. I'm not sure what Penta wants to do because they're not going to Chimacera because that's set to destroy. Lions is between Picado and Chimacera, so they're looting the compounds out there, and that's kind of also where Knights usually go, so they're going to be stuck in power grid in the area around that. Let's see what's going to happen with that. But Penta, they're forced to be pushed very far south, looting the outskirts of the southern parts of Los Leones. La Bendita not taken. Nova is going to completely take over Impala. You do not want to fight for that. So, you asked for it.
This is the exact circle I wanted. Massive western shift. Look at that. TG is going to be loving this. The fact that they were long jumping toward Pozo, there's lots of availability. Sangel didn't quite go as far this time to Pozo. They actually went for San Martin, but this is a car. That's a nice tier 3 vest to pick up for Krama. He'll happily welcome that.
Yeah.
But this is car written on it all day long. I'm surprised not to see more teams instantly trying to get cars in transition to the top side of this circle. I don't know that anyone will be aware that Cabrera's open because last game, anyone that had scouts for them or looked into the information, that was occupied by WC. But at the same time, it's WC, and if you've been scouting and following the trends, you'll know they're just jumping early, so they shouldn't be there.
I mean, Wildcard here in a great position. They're going to be just taking El Azahar, and then they can easily rotate because they kind of know that, you know, they had La Cabrera last time, so there's probably not going to be teams there, so their rotation is going to be easy. They're just going to be shifting on all the way up to the north and coming in from La Cabrera. But, I mean, Gates, yeah, they do have the circle, but it's so hard to hold down these type of circles. Yes, you're in the middle, but, I mean, you want to do like a 1-1-1-1 split, making sure that you can hold down multiple places of the map so the third shifts and the fourth shifts. If it shifts away from you in a hard shift, then you're going to be able to get into that zone, or maybe even having a great position already there. FaZe, though, great position for them. Great circle for them.
I mean, absolutely. If FaZe is in a circle at any point, it's a great circle for them. Let's just say that. Yep. I mean, if they're in there, they're in the fight. It's as simple as that. I agree that Gates, it's not gifted to them by any means. I just think the fact that they're out there so early, they can establish, like you say, their territory. They can get control. People have to come to them. They're not going to be put in as awkward situations trying to find. And okay, so this is the other thing I want to point out. Trying to find space. Not surprising at all to see Sengel already with one player on the move. This is their tactic over and over again. They talked about it on the desk. It is nice to see them. It was 5th place, just to clarify. Getting a result in the last map. This is a team that plays with, I think, 25 FPS regularly in Turkey. First land for them. They can't even take fights a lot of the time because of their equipment. So I thought maybe they would be aggressive in this event, thinking, hey, boys, look at how smooth this is. Let's go get them. And it didn't really materialize into that way, but they are starting to come into their own in this event. And more importantly, they'll be learning from this with each and every game.
I mean, this is a huge accomplishment for them. You know, we've had 48 teams in CIS, 48 teams in NA and EU. So it's a huge accomplishment just being able to get here. But CeeLo, though, he's going to be taking some shots at Shaxi, and he might not be able to survive it, though. Only a micro Uzi left, and 25 shots. Shaxi is going to take him down with the Scar. No, he's pushing on that. And he's going to be taken down here. Nobody's even close to CeeLo at this point, so he's just going to be taking him down and getting all his loot. And taking over this position, which is very close to the center of the circle, so great position here on the high ground.
Ambitious to try and fire at a moving car with an Uzi. I mean, ultimately asking for it at that point in time. As soon as Shaky's got position that he knew he could hold off easy with a Scar.
It might be the pufferfish kind of tactic, you know, making sure they kind of scare them away.
When I was in Hong Kong, I was asking what this delicacy that I just ate was, and I asked the oh, look at this, Lions trying to catch Liquid in transition. They're going early. They've left Picado. Asriel doing damage. Scoom's going to fight this. He'll stop the Murata, and it's Ibby that's going to play the backside of it. Samty, he's inside of the car as well. I thought maybe they would get out and try and play that ridge line along the backside of the road because there's certainly cover there. Oh, that's not.
That's still points. 10 points right there.
Back on all fours. They've run someone over almost every game on their own team, so maybe try not to kill each other with cars.
That's a good idea.
But back to the point about the pufferfish, I said, what is this dish? And he said, chicken bubblefish. And that was like a direct translation from Mandarin, apparently. Chicken bubblefish. That's a pufferfish. I thought it was brilliant. Yeah.
I love it. Because it tastes like chicken or what?
I guess. It was just the way they translated it. And I was like, okay, I'll look that one up on Google.
All right. Pufferfish indeed. And it's a kind of a tactic that we know from multiple teams. If you're holding down a position with just one guy, you just want to shoot at everybody, making sure that they don't breach you. More and more teams, they have figured it out that they just listen for the guns. Listen for what bullets is coming after you, what caliber it is. And look at this, though. This is a crate and a half.
MK14, 8-10 scope, absolutely. With the amount of hills that you have in this north side. The fact is that Sangal's got really good position. High side of Pozo toward that church, you can pretty much overlook the entire city. You can just overwatch it. And if they rotate in and hold crater fields, that's another open position where it's not so much that they are necessarily going to get in fights from there, but they have a high ground with so much awareness and so much territory that they can ascertain information, therefore rotate accordingly, but also not have anyone cross and fight. It's basically safety just from positioning in that sense. So Sengal's actually, I think, going to be, depending on obviously the next shift of the circle, in a really good position. If that goes north, Sengal's in a prime spot. And that crate's going to go Dignitas. Does he see it? I don't think I'd say it. Yeah, it looks like he might be out to it now.
It's a few hundred meters away from it at the moment, though. We'll see if he gets it. Might have not even spotted it, though. James, 2x SLR. He kind of wants some more range on that, though. But we'll see. He might be able to get it off a fight later. But look at this face here. They're doing a 1-1-1 split. Hexet is still down looting. Hopefully he doesn't blow himself up in a car this time. I don't know what happened, but I think it got caught on the team stream. Again, we've got 16 team streams. You can click on the link just below the this, obviously, stream here. We have some links for all the teams you want to see, just their POV. You can follow that also on map stream, of course. Dignitas on a long rotation through La Caparia. Smart choice. Vitality is going to do the same. We see it here on the map. Wildcard's going to do the same. Nova's going to do the same because they're thinking, you know, kind of not a southern plane, but, you know, through the middle. And with this kind of shift, all the roads up there, you can just come in from the north and everybody else is going to be coming in from the south. And you're going to be having the north to yourself. But four teams thinking that already. Dignitas is going to be up there. Vitality, Nova. They might even crash or clash with each other just a little bit later in the game.
Keep in mind with this circle, we don't have water. That makes it rather obvious on the map. But that entire left side, past that precipice where that massive cliff is unplayable. So you might as well call it the equivalent of that.
Yep.
Therefore, the point I want to make on that is where Liquid are now, where STDX are heading,
yep.
where M19 is following where Na'Vi just went, where FaZe... That rotation choke point is actually, especially because there's a massive mountain ridge between those two lower roads, there's not a lot of room. So these transitions, it's going to get a little tight down there.
Yeah, you're right. Na'Vi is just next to FaZe here, so they might be able to catch some teams off guard here. Liquid could be one of them. It looks like they're driving straight towards them. Obviously, this is the most zoomed out as it is. Holy, okay.
Sweet.
Well,
that's a win.
That's a win for single. Maybe it's up 5.
Again, this shifts north. Their positioning is phenomenal.
Oh, yeah, for
you
sure.
just can't close the distance on them as easily as you'd like to. Not saying it's impossible.
He doesn't even have a helmet. Giger doesn't
that's
even.
Pretty good.
Oh my God, this is an insane upgrade.
Did he? I think he already had a tier 3 bag as well, so there might be more for the taking over there, but that's sick. To get an AWM in the position that they have, super solid. Now here we go. This is the low side of the circle. So M19, Batulin already getting into safety. They just want to watch this road because everyone is going in this direction. Top side looks interesting as well because Cabrera, where Novo, now WC late on rotation, having gone toward Azaha, are all heading. There's 2 major choke points based on roads, and no surprise to see everyone in cars at this point. I don't expect to see too many teams engage, but it's just going to be really awkward for the next shift. This is setting up for some horrible transition fights.
Waka doesn't care. They're driving straight through La Caparia. They're like, nope, we've been here. This is our city. We think there's nobody here. They're just going to go straight through it. Dignitas did not pick up that crate, unfortunately for them. Let's look at this. There might be some, oh, look at this. Na'Vi here have this compound. FaZe are just north of them in the other compound. And M19, they're just trying to sneak in the most western side. As you said, on the west side here, huge rock wall, unplayable area. So it's hard to get around that.
Yeah, that's that whole area right now around Monte Nuevo, or just sort of northwest of Monte Nuevo, is going to be a bloodbath. That is a huge firefight. I expect that it'll be on the edge of the circle at the very least, if not centralizing around Pozo. Oh man, that's such a tough position. M19 is just trying to, like I say, play the road, watch it. Now, the other predictable transition, I think, and I say predictable, I think this is what I would have expected. I'm sure many teams would have. From Porto Paraiso, you're not going to go back up through Leon's awkwardly cut the middle of the map. So Ghost is obviously now arriving at a similar position. Penta's there as well. M19 still has information on the road. Navi's been burrowed and stuck in. Now, they've been there for almost, I think, 6 minutes. They were one of the first teams to rotate.
Yeah.
But this is just going to get so
all these teams are just going to try to wedge himself in.
I'm going to say positionally, I'm still going to stand by it. I think Sengal's got, again, depends on the shift of the circle. I think they've got some of the best positioning. Not to mention we saw them now with an AWM picked up. This is another great opportunity for them to score some huge points.
See, Zone slowly moves in, and nobody's actually outside. Koi's just going to make his way in slowly, but everybody else is inside, and it's as usually what we see in the Wrangle, everybody's in the center. Even if it's a town, they're going to go straight center. El Paso, nope. Nobody and again, personal opinion, in my opinion, you don't want to play a city unless you're 100% sure that it ends there, because if you have to leave it later and there's multiple teams in there, oh, nice driving, Smithy.
That's pretty awesome.
It's a,
did he take a tire? Oh, no, he didn't.
Oh, it
looked like it took a tire.
Look at the
off
shift
it.
straight on Pozo. Oh! Chronics here. Now, circle, pop, next circles come there, and all the teams are going to get ready here.
This doesn't surprise me to see this centralized around Pozo. Now, that leaves potential for, I mean, no one in the city right now, but the fact that it is center, that leaves potential for teams to start to burrow into the outlying buildings around the edge of it, because that'll give them information for the next shift as well. No surprise, therefore, to see an immediate transition. This south, look at this. I mean, that map is just cluttered with teams. Everyone, bar one player, is still alive currently. And they're basically all going to hold hands and skip together toward the inside of this circle.
multiple teams arriving here. Knights is going to come in, Lions is going to come in, Team Gates are going to go in. Poso, again, second circle. Poso is straight smack bang in the middle, so you kind of guarantee, because of the shifts here, you guarantee that the third, maybe even the fourth circle will have some parts of Poso in it. So they want to play there. They want to make sure that it gets into the circle.
Yeah, and that's, you saw them vacate the city after it was looted. Everyone said, you know what, no, let's hang on. You're right, exactly what you said. It's going to come back into the circle inevitably. I want to point out something else, as Moonwolf's going to get a knock on the board finally. They'll get another kill. I say finally because it's been that long since we've seen after that first engagement with Sengol and Silo. It's Liquid. This transition that they've done all the way from Picado, they've gone far west of the circle, knowing that the cliff's behind them, knowing that no one else is going to be there. And all they have to do now is, mind you, it is Liquid, so the circle's probably going to go away from them. But if they can play these transitions right and clear, like we saw they did in the last map, I'm starting to see why they are a good Myanmar team, because they are reading it. Now, there is one little stipulation on that, and that's a really far transition from Vitality taking that new ring road and coming down in from Ruins, from Trailer Park. That's something that Liquid could get caught off by, but they are still considering it by the looks of it. Scoom, I think, was just looking in that direction. James is easily able to respond for it as well.
And they don't want to keep it like cost. They're edge team. They want to make sure that if they're going somewhere in the third circle, they want to make 100% sure that it's going to end there. They don't want to dish their cars until that they're certain that they can go on foot from there. Because there's still multiple roads that you have to cross in the open here. But El Paso, look at that amount of teams in the south here. So congested in the south.
STDX has realized that as well.
Yeah.
They're going to transition hard right and try and get a little bit further north before they rejoin.
And the guys here still small compound, good compound. You just scout everything from. You can leave your cars. It's kind of an elevated area, so they can just leave it. Wildcard on the northern side of the crater field. See if they're going to push down to Sangul later. Mexi here. He has some ideas. Again, they're playing a split. Are they looking for kills, or they're just looking for territory? Greedy territory grabbing is just good for them. They're not inside a town, so they can allow themselves to do that. They're covering each other from multiple areas. Maybe we're trying to catch out some rotations here if they're seeing some of the teams rotate in towards El Paso. We'll see about that later.
This spread's not bad from them.
No.
Look, they've got so much individual skill, they can take fights. And like you say, they know that everyone's going to be in transition, so the more that they can spread out and cover off territory to claim as their own after the shift happens, it's pretty solid. Now, so here's the rotation we talked about. They'll go just high of Nuevo before they re-enter on the STDX side. Meanwhile, Knights still very close to Lions. That seems to be a trend. There's similar colors assigned to them, and they seem to always be together on the map. It's somewhat confusing, I'm sure, to look at from range. As, FaZe in the open. Shots go out toward FuzzFace. I believe that's over on the left side. Chris is going to hear that. Now we've got the signaling between the two teams. This could also, if it focuses around the circle, similar to game one, the very first game we had, where Wildcard picked up the win against, I believe it was Lions on the roof at that point in time of the church. It could be another situation where two teams, and Drayden's actually got Sonic, so overcommits to the peak. It could be another situation where two teams become aware that they're both in buildings and ignore each other, wait for everyone to come to them, and then engage. So keep in mind that if Pozo stays within this circle, there's going to be a little bit of cat and mouse going on, I think, between two teams that kind of have a mutual understanding, we'll call it.
I mean, again, you also got to remember the amount of durability you're going to lose in your helmets and armors. You're gonna want that for later game. If you lose a helmet to a headshot evolution, like if you only have 50% or 20% durability on your armor, then you're not going to be able to fight for the later stages. And as Brexco shoots just a little bit here, it's actually going to pop a new circle. And as we can see in the minimap here with Brexco, it's actually going to be having him on the southern side, just slightly in. It's going to send it just on top of FaZe, and now everybody, they're going to be moving out or to El Paso, because it's still slightly in. But with this circle here, it's only just slightly in the north. So as I talked about earlier, you only want to play the city unless you know 100% that it's ending there, and it's only like a 30% chance that it's going to shift north.
Tell me when you ever saw a third circle with that many steering wheels assigned to players' names.
Right,
you definitely don't get that on our angle.
No. Sometimes on rotations, but not in the third circle, as you pointed out. Knights, though, they saw that. They want to leave. They want to play outside in the open here, so they're going to be taking some of the cratered areas around the fields. Now, Sangul is going to make a move as well. They're going to be taking over the northern part of El Paso. Wildcard, though, they've spotted them, so they're taking shots at them. Sharp shot, headshot on the BSD, and he's going to be finished up by his teammate, so that's one kill for Wildcard. Still 61 alive in the third circle here. It just talks to how many teams can be accommodated in this area here. And wildcard.
Oh no. Oh,
kickstart.
You've done this yesterday.
Right,
he blew up in one of these Murados yesterday. I would, leave that there.
Yeah.
Just get rid of it. She's a smoking gun at this point. He's still catching them out, though. He's the one that saw that flip happen. Calamador's gone down. AWM with a sharp shot. He's got the kill, indeed. That AWM is starting to play off, and indeed, he is a sharp shot with it. And forget about Meds being a problem. There's one on the ground. I'm sure he's got some anyway. They'll get Shaky's back up as they retreat to the red farm. Now, that is a revive going the way of WC, keeping it in mind that they are getting very, very aggressive onto Sengal, who had position on the hill, forced down it. We're caught in transition, and that single knock inside the door means they had to disengage. By the time they go back in, though, Shaxi was patient, and it pays off as WC very nearly closed the distance. No smokes down to the window, and Shaky's had all the vision that he needed. Tumai's still going to rotate back in. He's got support system, but he gets behind them. That's the only kill going in their favor. He's got to try and clutch this back on his own. He's got his teammate and Kickstart who's still alive, but outside of the building, they'll spot each other in. Tier 3 helmet down. AWM is on his back, and Tumai says, hey, no thanks. You're not using that. I'll happily come back to gather that after we find your remaining teammate who is in the corner, and that is not a bad position at all for WC. Sure, okay, kills his teammate on the way by, but he'll get the res. Sangal gets wiped after what looked like they were going to be in another fantastic position. They go out in 16th, and that AWM now changes hands.
It's going to go into the hands of Wildcard. We'll see what's going to happen with that later. They have to leave El Paso. Everybody's trying to exit it now. We still have Set to Destroy. They're going to set up a gatekeep. M19, they're going to be able to get out of El Paso. And as I said, then they don't want to stay in.
Haxidy's just got a crate. I didn't see what he got, but they have center circle, and he's just got looted up pretty considerably. So obviously going to have a tier 3 helmet, and there you go. Not as powerful, the ghillie on Miramar, obviously.
Not the green one, at least. You do have the other color one, which is slightly more brownish, sand color-ish, which is, it's okay. Better. I like it. It's better, but still it stands out a bit more. The green one on Wrangel, absolutely insane though. 4x only on the
AWM.
Yeah, not personal preference. What scope? Yeah, 8
times for sure exactly. On the AWM.
Also in the car or what?
Yes, lately, yes. I used to be a 4 times car. Yes, exactly. Yeah, the fact that I can zoom in and out. I used to be a 4 times car 98 now I'm all 8 times. If I have that luxury, that is.
6, 8 times for me as well. I love it. It's the good ones. The zoomable. When you can zoom, it's just so much better. Still, lots of teams in here, and I'll also see a nice overhead view of it. FaZe, I think they're literally considering how many kills can we get here? Are we going to stay here with the next shift? It's actually going to shift a bit more on the south. We see Knights here. The map going to be shown here. Panzer's going to be straight in the middle. Now Hexeti with this compound straight in the middle. FaZe, GMT, the guys from FaZe, they're going to be moving straight over to Hexeti, making sure that they can take this center compound and hold it down with the whole team.
Make note of Liquid. We're going to come back to this. They're showing once again they're reading transitions very well. As anyone that spotted them know that they've got the south of the circle, but you're right. It's FaZe getting aggressive. FaZe is caught. O'Connell's got the kill, and they're going to push off of this. He's trying desperately to get in, but it's Andy in the car that's already gotten close. Survivor's running in from the backside of STDX as well, but they'll take advantage of a single knock and a nade. Is it going to go far enough? It's near the car. FaZe is up, but they're both going down. As Andy, the stand-in, showing some style as he throws out a beautiful nade. Again, O'Connell, he's aware of the situation. FaZe again is under threat of going out extremely early. It was 16th in the first Miramar game. It might now be 15th if not careful, as Haxi does as the last man standing catch one in transition, and Andy, he'll be finished off as a result of it, but that gives away Haxidy's position. Priority buildings do create for some evasion because Adudokaz needs a teammate inside with him. If he chases him up the stairs, Haxidy can easily drop back down on the outside. They've got to read this. Haxidy's the one that was tier 3'd up as well, so he's got the ability to fight, but with 3 players trying to come in behind.
Mexi got both FaZe and GMT up. Look at this, they're pushing it now. Mexi's going to take down O'Connell, finish him off as well. Now Moon's down to 2, and FaZe and the guys from FaZe, they're all up at 4th again.
That's tunnel vision if I've ever seen it. I didn't think he would even be given the chance to get those reses. I thought Haxidy was going to have to do all the work. Mexi's back down once more. So remember, these were the nated players. Gempty's on his own, but he can cover this situation because Fuzz is back on the res once more, and they have to rotate directly toward him. FaZe, I don't know how they've done it, but they have. They've stayed alive, and in this fight, Moonwolf looked like they had every right to knock them out.
This is actually a kind of a scary compound as well. You have so many ridges and everything around it, so it's easily breachable. You can park your car where it's not going to be seen from this compound. And that's exactly what Moonwolf did to breach this compound. Perfect position and very good transition here from them. Unfortunately, a nade and 2 knocks is not enough. You're not going to take FaZe down just with 2 kills or 2 knocks on a nade.
Yeah, that's the unbelievable part, isn't it? Because it looked like that was a foregone conclusion. So too with WC. They get 2 knocks and they engage. The knocks really allow for the engagement, and yet Moonwolf couldn't close it unlike WC did. against Sango. So they'll play around each other. Moonwolf now knows they've got a massive problem because if you poke the bear, it's only going to bite back harder. And FaZe are certainly awoke to the fact that they are inside of that compound now with them. Wookie Bookie trying to go for some more long shots as always. As Tumai continues to be impressive. He'll find Chris from Lions after the early engagement from them has fallen apart. They're not yet inside of the circle. And keep in mind that Exco's trying to snake right now for Gates as well. I don't think he's really going to have much chance in it. It looks like he's actually just sitting trying to heal up in the blue. Meanwhile, M19, a team we haven't talked about much in this game aside from a very early positioning toward that lower road.
Oh, look at this. Dignity has completely taken out by Ghost. Out in 15 for them. Unfortunately, they're sitting in the comfort of the top 5 at the moment. So that's going to hurt their standings just a bit. Moonwolf and FaZe still in the middle. Penta in a good position as well. This is what I like about these zones. You have so many hills you can fight. But look at that. I talked about this earlier. You don't want to go into the city unless you 100% know it's going to end there. Multiple teams did that. They're now fighting on the north side. We have 4 teams up there just fighting for it.
Which brings back Liquid's incredible game sense. They read that and went immediately south side of this transition and said, guys, everyone's in Pozo. They've got that whole circle to work with. And who's the other team that's doing a very similar approach? It's Ghost again. If you wanted that showdown last game, you might still get it this time. Just going to go down inside of the blue after being knocked. Fignoldo's going to take out Tumai. So Wildcard now in a wild situation. Jazz is trying to get healed up inside of the smoke. There's so many players down in one position, and Nova wants to third man in on this, but Integrate, he's already gone down as well, and so too will Smithies. They're getting picked apart by Jazza, who's gotten heals off, but gets back up. He's got to run off this time. Very little to work with. One shot will do it, but he needs to res his teammates. He needs to decide which way he wants to go on this fight. Smokes will still favor him, and he can see Smithies, but he'll commit to the heal. Instead, Nate goes in, and down goes Vitality. And Nova, third manning in, will just barely, as the third man alive, will save the other 2.
Fantastic here. Great position, as you said here. Third man coming down here to take this Lost HD on the top of the hill. They're making able, or oh, look at this, and the third party coming in.
I don't know if they have time because Navi's now heard all of this. That nade is amazing. Is it going to go too far? It rolls just barely over the hill. That would have been an incredibly long and very skilled throw. But it does draw the attention of Loss, who's scouting and allowing for his teammates to get reses in, and Navi's disengaged. They realize if that nade didn't hit, they've lost the chance, and they need to get toward the circle. FaZe are going to have company. Liquid's there now, too. Ghost has gone back out around. They've gone completely around Liquid. They've bypassed FaZe. They've bypassed Liquid. Penta's going to battle off with them. Nova now will engage. Navi's in the open. And this battle really defines the top side of the circle because STDX are also nearby, but Nova's got the at least strength in numbers at this point in time, so as long as they can avoid Navi, who are still going to be throwing nades back in that direction.
Makes is going to take down EB. And now the fight for the compound here is going to go down. Look at this eastern, northeastern side completely open. Nice has a good position here in the hills. Navi as well, but everybody is on the western side. We have 10 teams on the western side. Knights is on the eastern side.
Penta and Ghost are also going to be in a game. So there's 3 battles for position. Penta and Ghost for the south side, the southwest side for Liquid, Moonwolf, and FaZe, and then obviously the fight we've been following at the north, which is heating up because Lions are about to be taken down and bow out early, and they will. They're going to go out in 11th place, which is a problem because this is the map that's carried most of their successes. STDX now, with only 2 players, have Fignoldo trying to capitalize on Nova's position. They can't do it. Survivor's going to be picked apart. Does push, though, to find one. Smithy goes down. He'll finish it. Take no chances. His teammate unfortunately goes down and succumbs to the nade, but he's got a chance to still make a play in this, and he's pushed Purdy off of it. Interrogate's gone. Nova suddenly get picked apart by 2 STDX players, and it's North Americans, Canadian orgs going to battle at the northern position on the circle. That seems somewhat fitting, if you ask me. Coffee, meanwhile, this is the battle we talked about in the south. Penta was fortified already inside of this compound. A Ghost want to try and penetrate it, push them out, clear the position, and then they'll be able to control the fight. Na'Vi has found FaZe.
Taking them down in 10th place here. Super unfortunate for them now. Liquid is going to fight with Moonwolf, and they're going to take down Ibiza. Skoom is going to return on Washout. Meanwhile, Profi is just sitting in this shack, just waiting here, and this zone is going to go north. Circle it's gone away. Moonwolf was eliminated on 9th position. Liquid survived that. I'm not sure how many they got alive, though. It looks like this leads to 3, maybe even 4. We'll see with that.
Question for me is, does Ghost engage or not? They don't need to take this fight with Penta. Sure, they know that they're going to evade the building as well, but they could transition over to the right side and try and get away. In doing so, they've got a slight ridge that they can play so long as they can get past where Profi is positioned. So smoke going, excuse me, that's a nade. It is a smoke. All right, I was right the first time. Should have trusted myself. Smoke going to the doorway. I'm wondering if he's trying to buy space so his team can do exactly that. Penta, they'll get into battle. Meanwhile, it's Uba toward the top side once again that's going to get aggressive. Rotate around. Na'Vi, if they can take out Survivor, will cover off. Now the field comes into play. Purdy's going to try and snake in it. And the fact that Knights want to go toward the crate and play these hay bales does give them some coverage, but the ridge line above has a lot more to play and offer. It's ultimately a survival tactic playing in that position in the circle.
Survivor taking down both Drainy and Shade here. He's single-handedly fighting off Na'Vi. 2 knocks already. He's got a very good ridge to play with, as you see here. Uba and Pokemon, they got to go for the rest. As Drainy is going to be taking off first because he's the most low. And Profi, though, is going to take down Chronix. And there's going to be throwing Molotovs, and a full-on fight is going to go on with Penta and Ghost. He's going to come around the corner. He's going to take him down. Insane play by Brexo here. Nice push around the corner, being able to clear it.
Great read. McCoy thought he was able to support that, and he wasn't actually peeking the right side. Brexco taking down Profi has made this very, very problematic for Ghost. And they need to move. I mean, this transition has to happen. Okay, McCoy's backed out far enough now that Balak actually can head that same direction. They don't necessarily have to commit to this. They can transition away. Meanwhile, Liquid has gone directly toward Na'Vi as Kaint still tries to fire up toward the top of the hill. Fantastic shot from McCoy with that ACOG sight, excuse me. This is where the battle now becomes. Look at Jeans over the hill. Wanted to try and finish off Drainy. Gets caught out. Scoom's going to fire back. Samty's gone down. Na'Vi holding firm. And Liquid yet again are finding problems in a map that they've been dominant and showing class on. They just seem to get caught out ever so slightly in the last fight that defines their entire game. Uba's got to go for this revive, though. They've got the high ground to do it. Liquid's got the opportunity to try and do the same. Nope, they're going to bail. Scoom's going to leave Samty. He's now got to play this alone. Penta's gone left. Ghost has gone right. And that's going to open up a massive fight to the bottom side. Survivor and Purdy can suddenly snake this. And who else left for M19? Who seems to be the snake every single time. But Zimpel's going to do the same in the middle. Does manage to find Udyr. He's still pushing on. Good finish onto him as well. But the Blues all over him. And he's got no time to heal. He's going to go down as well. Picked off by Na'Vi at a long distance. It's Molodor that's done the shot. Ooh, but how many kills does Na'Vi have right now? This is a game and a half for them. The fact that they were able to control Liquid's positioning as well, huge situation to find themselves in. And don't discount Knights. They've got 3 players still in this. We've not talked about them at all, but they've just been quietly going about business on the quiet side of the circle, quite frankly.
Yeah, they had this whole southeastern circle to themselves, just controlling that hillside was so important for them. And now they've got the only half cover in the current turn zone. Together with Purdy, he's just chilling in the north here. And now Uba is going to take down Kaint. Now Penta is out in 8th position. 3 guys alive, 9 kills with still 11 left. So they've got 8 more potential kills. A lot of snakes. We got Scoom, we got Example, we've got Purdy, we've got Survivor, and we've got McCoy. So 5 solo players versus Knights, who have 3, and Na'Vi on the top side in the high elevated area with 3 as well.
Uba commits. The confidence almost can be misleading a little bit for Knights and Na'Vi in this situation where they both have 3. That there's so many snakes alive. They better be on top of it. Obviously, they can see how many teams are left, but they better be on top of reading that situation, because these snakes, all they have to do is third man or crossfire these situations, and it's not unfathomable that one of these guys picks up the win in doing so.
This could be another night victory.
Tex gets inside of the middle of the circle, and Na'Vi's transition begins. Koi needs to get closer, Scoom as well. I think Purdy's going to be quite all right in this situation because the battle's going to be to the south of him. Good find from Uba. He's immediately taken down Scoom. So Liquid bow out. They're gone in 7th position. So a 3rd and a 7th on Miramar so far today. And Na'Vi, the team who was in 2nd as we started our Miramar campaign, can actually take a massive points haul. Again, over FaZe, who went out so early on. In this, all things considered, Pokemon is going to catch out Purdy. He's gone. Another team eliminated as Nova go down and completely removed. So too will Survivor as STDX bow out. It's really coming to be Na'Vi's game, but McCoy has been extremely coy and quiet as he wants to work up the side of the hill, and now it's Zimple that's going to try and thwart all possibilities of Na'Vi's win as well. Headshot easily available, but McCoy's trying to play this to his odds. Play this out as long as he can. And Knights, they're reading the kill feed and playing this as patient as they dare because they know Na'Vi are in a much more timid position than they are. I say that, and they'll be engaged by Zimple. McCoy's going to strike. Down goes 1. McCoy's taking out Shade. That brings Na'Vi 1 less, but he'll be found immediately after. Traded out by Pokemon. They now go down to 2 on the Na'Vi side, and Knights are capitalizing. They hear this. They don't want to wait for the shift. They want to try and engage. They know Na'Vi's weakened up, and they know that's the only other full team, or thereabout, I should say, still in this. Example, he's just waiting inside of a bush in the middle, hoping desperately that this goes his way.
This is a snake and a half. He even left a first aid kit to make sure he could take it off his backpack, so he's feeling much less on the screen. And look at this, Texas can't even see him, but Uber, Pokemon, they're just gonna lay on their stomachs here until they have to move. Texas, Drayden are inside the zone. Kramer on a huge flank to make sure that when they run, they're gonna get a huge amount of pressure from the western side here.
Kramer as well going to that high ground.
Example. Is he going to get spotted ever? He's been here in 10 minutes.
I mean, you called that he dropped that medkit, but he did drop it exactly where he's lying.
Yeah.
So he did try and make himself smaller, but it is kind of also visible in the same sense. So it's a bit of a catch-22. We'll see if Pokemon even does realize that he's there. He's throwing nades rather optimistically over the edge of the hill, hoping that he'll catch someone waiting down below. I think Eximple's going to at least get a kill out of this, surely. He's not moving, doesn't want to give anything away. Knights still holding off on the inside of the field. And as I was mentioning, they've left Krama well over to the west. So two already holding the circle, and Krama trying to create crossfires. Exactly that, because Drayden engages. Krama just has to hold the secondary angle. Drayden's now going to take Uba completely out of this. So Knights in a prime position, and Pokemon, he's transitioning back through the blue to deny. He doesn't want to give away any further kills. The Snake and Zimple, he's going to have to move, but Knights are going to pick up another chicken dinner out of this.
I think so. It's very... Look at this top two with 0 kills. You're going to get second place. There's going to be 0 kills. Going to be spotted. And that's a chicken dinner for the Knights. The Pittsburgh Knights. Fantastic play by them. Very good decision making, making sure that they could get into the zone, taking down and holding down the southeastern side, because nobody wanted to play the open fields until the later stages of the game. So they take a very good Knights fight here. Voxic, unfortunately, did go out early, but all the other players did get 2 kills each. So 6 kills in total.
And the late night Knights, because it...
So they need to work it out a bit more, because they're absolutely dominant on Erangel. And I feel like, I said it yesterday as well, I feel like there's a bit more RNG on Miramar so far, because again, it's 8 times 8 kilometers. It's 4th iteration on the map currently. You don't have the time to know every dip, everything, single place. But look at this plane, though.
Yeah, that's the 3rd time. This is pretty consistent.
Slightly more north here, but still, it's going to enable more teams being able to get up to the completely north side of the map if they want to.
Something has changed.
Something has changed.
There's a team that's still in the plane that's normally not still in the plane.
Wildcard, they got El Asaha last time, and they were like, you know what? We pretty much like that place. Let's take it.
They're going to go for it, absolutely. So we were kind of pointing out the fact that they were jumping early. It seemed like no matter what in most situations, and that was the case for the first 2 planes. Now it seems, yeah, you're right. They're comfortable saying, hey, Al Azahar is us. Let's go there. We've got it. It's got the one thing I will say about it is it's got really good transition options on the roads.
Exactly. That's what I like about it. I mean, you have 4 roads that exit from there. You can get anywhere from there. And if you go west, the only place you're going to go into is kind of an open place. In public games, yes, there will be people camping there, but that's not the case here. Things is not going to be camming that intersection there on the west of El Asaha. But everything else kind of pans out as we expected here. Ghost, they're kind of in a hot place here. They want to go down to Puerto, but with the plane ending just over El Asaha, that looks like a Lion's knock there. Sonics did get a knock on somebody, and Chris is going to finish it. Let's look what happened there. Chronix is going to be taken down.
And I was going to point this out. Penta's almost doing what Knights did on Erangel. They spread out every single drop, and this time it's cost them quite dearly, if I'm honest.
Look, can we just take a little look at the map here?
That's a huge shift. Another one.
You like it?
I do like it. It's the same as last time. We're going far west, but we're going a little more south, which actually means that choke point we talked about with the roads isn't going to be the same. What it does bring into it is that southern terrain, these massive mountain ridges that are so playable and so important. Really early, there's going to be another big shift, but it's I like it. This is good. This is going to cause a lot more chaos. Navi's going to like it. They don't have to leave this time. They're actually in the first circle down at Vela Del Mar.
And here, a little short look on Team Dignitas, Woogie Boogie on 7, Gustav QQ, and Adam currently sitting on 6th place with 150 points behind Liquid. So they're looking at getting pretty close. But look at that. The top 4 here, 260 points from 4th to 1st. So it's very close still. And 20 points behind FaZe is Na'Vi with that very good win they just, or not very good win, with that very good game they just had with a lot of kills. Good position making Knights, pushing all the way up to top 3 right there. 10 points ahead of Ghost. So it looks like we're finally looking at how the top 5 will be looking, because after this game, we're going to be through 67% of the
I
games.
like your maths. That was good.
You like that?
66.6 repeating, but yeah, I'll give you the roundup.
Yeah, well, let's slide right up right here. Yeah, I like it. But, of course, 6 games tomorrow as well. The final day, the Championship Sunday, as somebody like to call it. And here, Set to Destroy X as well. German Sir, good place to loot, actually. Multiple layered, lots of loot. Yes, after this 4th iteration of the map here, all of the compounds, they have been moved out, slide a bit here. Split out. Before, it was an extremely good place to loot. Very central in the zone, good position. You can easily rotate out of it and into it. But here, there's not that much places to loot, so you kind of want to split up with one guy. They do have one guy just looting outside, which is Rift, and these compounds just slightly north of it.
I will say, I think Toffee's said it well, and it's something that's really apparent, but you don't often think about, is that you do get punished for leaving cities on this map.
Yes.
The cities have so much cover, but as soon as you leave them, it changes the game entirely for you, because you've got these crazy long open traverses that you have to cross, and in doing so, especially with circle shifts, you know that, like we saw last game, you get to pose there, you know that it's going to eventually leave there, and you kind of set yourself up to be in a big dogfight. It's one of those things that, like, yes, it's very obvious in hindsight, but without him pointing it out, it's like the elephant in the room. You got to point it out, and then you become aware of it. It's rather obvious, right? That's an interesting map in that way.
It's very interesting. I mean, with this, it's an esport now, right? You want to have multiple maps. You want to have teams that are very good at one map. You want to have teams that are very good at another map. Put it into the rotation. But, I mean, there's going to be coming more maps. But with the maps being that big, it's going to take more time, or it should take more time before the maps get introduced into esport. Because, I mean, it takes so much time for the teams to learn it.
I'm digging some of these cinematics right now. He's driving these excellent beauty shots of Liquid on the move. And then that is exactly what they're going to do. Remember last time they transitioned all the way to the west of the circle? Yes. They're going to go more south this time, avoid where FaZe currently are, but they are heading in that direction. Lions will try and engage them. If Azrael hits this shot, I might actually take him on a date instead of Pubg, with the Car 98.
Well, I mean, I think you should take Pubg on a date. I mean, he's from Copenhagen, so
that's true. I might see him there.
You do come sometime there, right? So that's a ambitious shot right there. I like to go. Ooh, I like to see something like that. Oh, M249. Personal opinion, go.
You like it?
I
see its viability in the no reload. If you're pushing a team, you can run, you can gun, you can be not necessarily mobile with it, but you have the possibility of always being ready to fight, if you will.
Right.
I don't love it for its. I just find it. I can't control it.
When you crouch with it, and if you have a good vertical sensitivity, I mean, you have the standard vertical sensitivity is 0.7, but if you put it on 1, you can control that beast so good. It's an absolutely monster, and you can wreck so many cars with it. In the hands of Kramer, the self-proclaimed best left-handed player in the world, he has the mouse on left hand.
Of which there is one. I'm kidding. There's probably more than that.
I know of a couple, but I only want to call out Kramer here. He's a perfect left-handed player. There's the prime example. He's a hybrid, multiple nation man. He speaks also 3 languages. Yeah,
that's pretty cool. I'm terrible with language.
Linguistic there, right there. Yeah.
Gemty,
or 2.5. Gemty here. 4x. He does see a Team Gates member up by that tree. That's far away.
Super far away, and a 4-time scope, not an 8-times. But he's well aware that TG is going to be trying to play the backside of the circle. Now, lots of ridgeline you can use over in that to their advantage, but they're almost going to try and hold this road and cover off transitions. We saw M19 trying this in the last map, and how congested that bottom side was. They couldn't engage on the fights. Everyone was sort of jostling for position, but it's TG that's going to be able to spot pretty much anyone rotating and therefore play a court. We say it in CS all the time, it's like an early round transition where you're trying to go for map control.
Right.
It's map control. It's information. That's all they want. They don't necessarily want to fight in these positions, but everyone that drives by, it's a little mental note. Okay, team just went here. We know we don't want to rotate that direction, or hey, let's see if they get into a fight. We'll keep track of the noise we hear. So again, it's just strictly that map control. Sengel, they were aggressive early in the last game as well in getting position. In fact, they had the opening kill in the last game. They're going to try and get aggressive once more in this particular round, having transitioned in early already from San Martin. They are now heading down toward Knights, the winner of the last map, and their position inside of the barn.
They're going to push this Texas here with an AK. They don't want to crash this, and Giga's also coming out on Calamro. It's actually left this. You do not want to take this fight. So Knights are going to take over this compound easily from them. As you said, good position inside the zone, just northwest of Monte Nuevo. FaZe has got a very good split going actually here. Wildcard transitioning in as well. They're going to be coming in from all the way over at Crystal Val. they might drive straight into Dignitas. We'll see with that transition later. Mossy here taking some fight, or taking some shots. And Na'Vi, he wants to fight.
They want to fight. Drayden's got Shaky's down, so that is the previous transition that we saw where Sengel was trying to hold that compound, or rather Knights, excuse me, trying to hold this compound, this barn just north of Monte Nuevo. They've now fully engaged, and just to finish my previous point, we won't necessarily go back to it, but TG engaged a lot faster than I thought they would on Navi. I thought they'd play complacently. They aren't. They actually want to try and take that fight early. But Knights, the one that start things off with a knock, elect not to give up their coverage. And inside of the smoke, they'll get a revive, but they're still just trying to pick apart Sengel. And Shaky's now just gets back to his feet and gets in the med kit. Ooh, Voxic. That's discouraging. Don't stick your head back out there, my friend.
Sengel here getting extremely pushed here. They have to use 6 smokes already. You don't want to use that many utilities, but you have to, of course. You want to be as many people alive towards the end game.
You're right. The problem is it's not like you're going to go back to a town like you would for any casuals.
Wookie Pookie.
That's sick. That is sick. Spraying into it. Wookie Pookie, the top fragger for Dignitas, in a prime position to try and find more. Couldn't collect on the way by, but now over to his lovely sniper rifle. This time 14, and will continue to spam to Nova, who get in the open and awkwardly. Smithies is getting picked at, but he'll get away.
See with the trace around there, he's super close to actually hit him and doing a lot of damage onto the car.
He's accurate, man.
He's very accurate. The land giant himself from Denmark. Ghost, nice rotation again. Yeah, they had a lot of, again, west to east plane. They dropped late. They had to drop down on the eastern side, get cars, make sure they could drive all the way out onto Puerto. So they're going to be sparsely looted. Penta's going to be coming in behind them. M19 still in a rotation. Oh, the southern side again. It's going to be exactly the same as the last round. Multiple teams is going to be super congested on the south side.
It's south side, and more so now that we've got those mountain ranges in. Like I say, STDX has fantastic position if it shifts that direction because they're on the high ground, and those 2 roads are basically, they're not quite what they call Death Valley up toward Terry Bronco. You know, go Broncos. I'm just going to not try and say that one correctly. They're not quite to that extent, but they are really tough positions to try and mobilize in. So that's solid. Jempty's really giving it a go, isn't it? Up to 8 times for him on the Car 98. Can't quite hit the shot. To go back to the point on Sengel, which we discussed and you mentioned, 6 smokes used. It's not like you're going to run back into a city to look for smokes of all things. At this point, you're trying to position and you're trying to play them out. So the fact that they had to use that much utility is going to hinder their performance late game when they actually are in awkward exchanges if a third party comes in, etc.
Exactly. Very good point. Wildcard here, slow rotation. Nova even further. Wow, that's a far rotation. They're going to be coming all the way in through La Caparia and coming in on the north side. And as we see here, good decision making from them, of course, based on the information they have, and they read the plane very well, and they kind of expect this circle to have a lot of teams in the southern side. So very good decision making right there. Krama's going to take down Giga, and now Sangal is in even more trouble than before.
This is Ghost getting this mountain. I was surprised not to see Na'Vi heading up here a little bit earlier. Sengel, yeah, you're right. More trouble because now they're going to be way lower on meds. They've got no helmet left on Geeker, who's going to be picked up now. But just to go back to that point, Ghost are taking that mountain. Na'Vi elected to leave Villa Del Mar early and go up the road rather than on that hill. Now, it does leave them transition possibilities for the next shift, which is coming in about 10 seconds. But yeah, it seemed obvious to me just to play for the information. So Ghost are going to take that absolutely available to them, and they'll welcome that, no problem. Thanks very much for the position, and they'll hold it. And the shift goes to the circle. STDX has an incredible position for now, but look at all the teams. This is going to be amazing for teams like Dignitas still coming in from the right side, from M19 still coming in from the bottom. They'll love that. They'll absolutely love that circle's gone away from the mountain range, and it's 100% playable, but also close to them for their transitions.
So many of these teams are already inside the circle, and we're going to have a far rotation from the north as well. Nova's going to be coming in. Everybody's going to be pushed down to the north, so of course there's going to be more teams up there, but still great position for multiple teams. This shift south here, I welcome it a lot here. Face, great position, but again, we do have a road going straight through the middle and 2 very elevated areas, mountainsides. Oh my god, 15X, 8X, MK14, and full level 3. And it's going to be Batulins, by far the best player on that team. He's an amazing fragger, young player.
Take all of that. I think really the adrenaline syringe was the win there, if you ask me.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, full boosted instantly. And I actually like it. After they downed the time, before it was a very long shot. Now it's just 8 seconds on it, so it's much faster. Or it's 6 now, actually, after they changed it. Mexi's going to take down Mossy, so he's out of the game. Knights and Face are very close to each other here. because Knights, they are on the oil refinery just southwest of Montenuevo here.
Jempty's absolutely taking advantage of the fact that not only has that 8x now, but the silenced Car 98. He's firing at everyone he possibly can. And they spot Knights. He's well aware of their positioning.
Nice shot.
Did he hit him in the back? I think he just collected him.
Yeah, I think he got him a torso shot or something like that. He got down to about 50%. Yeah, exactly. 50% HP right there. Nice shot by Jempty. Amazing fragger. Probably one of the best players in the world right now.
He has to hold off. As you see, Knights immediately give the attention to that position. They have to hold off both angles from within that small compound now, which gets a bit awkward for them. Nova interrogate, taking his time getting down there. We'll just start to arrive to where TG again. We're holding on to that road, but Liquid, dead center of the circle. FaZe, dead center of the circle. We still have everyone, pretty much everyone alive, certainly every team, but only 2 players down, and both of them, I take that back, excuse me, Penta lost one as well, but both of the earlier kills, Mortify and Mossy, go against Team Gates. And they haven't really gotten much going today either. They've been just, I want to say struggling. Every duel that they get into, they seem to get knocks. They seem to make it awkward for teams, but they can't find kills that certainly matter in the end. FaZe is engaging. They've got Knights. They're starting to push the compound. One single knock. Drayden goes down. It's Mixie from range. They get back in the door, so they can't engage. Great shot in return for the Car 98 of Voxic, who was unsighted, given that the gun was holding off the position. And guess who's going to steal that and chime in with a third-party kill? Jeems. Liquid pick up one against FaZe, who go down to 3 members early yet again on map 6 of the day, 12 overall, for those of you playing along at home.
So I like the quick maps. We just throwing out numbers super quick. I like it. Can we do that more tomorrow?
I mean, try.
Yeah.
We get up to 18.
two digits is going to be harder. No, it's good. Teams here being able to take that kill. Of course, it's 10 points leading his switch, but also pushing him further onto the top killer leaderboard. He is currently in the top 2 at the moment. Or was it top 3? I'm not sure, but he has more than 20 kills.
That's going to be so frustrating for him as well, because he's picking apart. He gets a knock. He's just trying to pester them down there in that compound, Knights. Voxic hits a beauty out of nowhere, and he gets third-partied as a result of it. Like, that is so frustrating. It's like everything's going well, everything's going, boom, dead. Like, that's tilting. But FaZe certainly skilled enough. We'll try and play off. It was a great shot. Pinch position for Silo and Exco to try and hold off 2 players in a split 2-2 for Nova. Again, trying to open up the map. They're going to put 2 players deep on the western side. If the shift goes that direction, there's not much going on in that direction, and Ghosts are kind of gambling on that. They're holding down to the bottom corner, again, waiting to see where the circle goes. Not too far back on it, but trying to position themselves not in the middle of the fight, but for the late game, and that's what they've been very, very good at so far on Miramar today. Shift is coming, by the way. Get ready. Predictions? Call it right now before it hits.
South.
Ooh, okay.
Like it?
That's not bad.
There's a slight southeast shift, if you may, but still, Penta straight in the middle here. M19, great position as well. Jimnasera has some of the buildings inside, but with this shrink here, we're going to see a lot of teams doing the big shifts, you know, coming in around to the side, trying to get into the southeastern side of the map, where there's currently nobody there. Lions here also in a great position. They have a high ground hill, but if they have to move east, have to move down into a valley where Penta's already sitting, and they have teams on the other side of the valley on top of this hill. Resu, Sonics, these guys, they're trying to make a decision. Do we stay? Do we make a move now? What's going to happen? Because if it shrinks away from them, they're going to be in a super hot spot rotating out of it. Shadow here, a few shots onto Dignitas, who's made that way. We can see as well already on the southeastern side of the map. Shade is going to go down to Example here while running down. This is the open space I'm talking about. We need some more rocks on these open spaces, some more trees, some more cover. Otherwise, this is absolutely suicide.
It's exactly this. I mean, those hills are great when you're on top of them, but this is kind of what I was mentioning with Death Valley. It's just wide open when you have to move, and that's what Na'Vi is discovering. Ghost, that's why they went early. So the shift went away from them, but they positioned accordingly. They said, all right, if this goes to the right, let's weigh our odds. Let's get a little closer to those roads, and boom, now they're in. You called it right. Those transitions are happening. Knights going deep to the south. Nova going to continue the same. Still in a 2-2 split and at complete opposite sides of the circle. But again, just trying to get map control, trying to weigh themselves out, the odds of the shift working at least one way or the other. Kumisira, not surprising to see a team heading to those outskirts, not committing to the buildings, but this
Great position.
Well, what we said from Toffees at Dignitas, what we said, to leave towns you get punished, there's quite a bit of cover on the western side of Kumusera, so this is still doable, and Dignitas aren't going to commit to going in the town. They're going to play the high side of that ridge north and watch behind them, so that's an awesome position to be in right now.
Unfortunately for the other half of Dignitas, Gustav and Adam, they lost their bike to Vitality, who took that out, so they're going to be on foot. They're going to be running as far as they can, but Team Gates it looks like Team Gates is making a far rotation coming in on the eastern side. They're getting shot at by Wildcard here. Kickstart. Oh, taking specialty himself as well from the side. They're in an okay position to gatekeep here, so that's why they're staying, because they can easily rotate and push up towards the hill because it's extremely elevated. Moonwolf Edukos also on the outside here.
Tumai's got to be careful. He's engaging down the hill, but this is perfect from the observer, exactly on cue. Sengol's going to come in behind them. Tumai's left in the open. He can't transition back to his teammates, so he needs to get information and try and peek accordingly, and he's done that. So he's taking a shot into Kalimdor, now realizes it, backs off the hill. He can at least force them and funnel the fight toward his teammates at the compound, but that's all he can do. Sharp shot again with a Kar 98 this time. It was the M24 in the last game. Is looking dead solid with shots at range, and another knock on Shakey's. I think it was him that he took down last time as well. These two teams battled last time at Monte Nuevo.
Was indeed here. Sharp shot.
Excuse me.
Yeah, El Pozo, exactly. Sharp shot only's got 4 bullet left though, so he's got to get some more 7.62 though. Now Gustav here and guys from Dignitas, they're making their way in. Meanwhile, they actually took down Exco from Team Gates, so Silo is the last player now from Team Gates, and he's currently outside the zone, so he's probably going to be gate kept though. See here, Kramer with the 8x on the SLR, strong weapon, 58 damage per shot right here. Texas is knocked, but he's probably going to be able to take... No, he's not. Texas is outside the zone, so he's dead. He's gone. He's going to be taken out by the zone. Phosphate is going to be knocked, though, and look at this. Moonwolf.
This is the worst situation, because Tumai was trying to hold off the hill behind him, as I mentioned, to force Sengol, but then he gets third-party by Moonwolf. Him being that far out, he could not get back to his teammate. He was trying to disengage off a previous fight when all of that happened, so he was just unfortunate victim of circumstance. This shot from Moonwolf, they're still trying to pick them apart, and they're going to land it behind the tree. Sengol gets covered off. Great shot, O'Connell. Geeker goes down. Second knock for him, by the way, for those of you keeping track, which means obviously they're going to have to get on him immediately for the revive, and that's when Pride realizes the situation and tries to swing out to steal the kills and take down Sengol in doing so, because they won't be able to move anywhere. Nade from range, smokes on it, and I think that's Geeker gone.
Ooh, BSD. Not close enough. Oh, that might be...
Yeah, BSD. That's a good second nade.
Sengol's going to be taken out. Meanwhile, we also saw Novak go down. Now Liquid's making a move here. They saw the shift. It's gone slightly southwest here, so they're going to go straight into the middle of this. You can play these ditches. You can play this very open area, but they got to take some cover here around the lower sides here. Christo is taking some shots at Walcott, and they're outside in the open. Kickstart's been taken out. Pride is running alone in the open now. Lions completely gatekeeping the northern sides. Base is also taking shots from Vitality and Lions at this point. Batulins is going to take down James though, so he's going to be knocked and left alone. Santi might be able to get him. We'll see about that later. Profi here on the western side, trying to make sure that nobody comes in behind them. You don't want snakes. We saw it in the games earlier. You don't want snakes coming up behind you, because you're just going to lose a few players and you might end up losing the game.
Shots
AB
out
as well.
Yeah, AB's knocked. Dignitas got him in a crossfire both sides of the road. I don't think he's coming back, so this is going to be Liquid down a man as we look at all our lovely statistics on the outside of the game. Gustav's got him pinned in that hut, and Sampty's going to try and swing around. There's no way he gets there. Yeah, he's done. Gone. Gustav confirms it. Sonics gets a shot as well on the kickstart. One less for Wildcard. M19, meanwhile, has been quiet down at the bottom of the hill, and Zippel is still firing out to Sampty, trying to third-party Liquid's very unfortunate circumstances of being completely surrounded. Good position in the middle of the circle. That's great. But everybody seems to know that they're there, and there's not a lot of cover on the side of that hill.
Exactly. That's what we talked about with Navi. When you're in the middle of this, everybody's going to be looking at you. The full focus, if you're going middle of the center in the fourth circle, which this one is, you're going to be looking at people shooting at. Wildcat's going to go down to 14 now, and Navi is going to have people looking at them. It's going to be Dignitas, actually.
Jempty's down. Phase down one more man. So they are not at all having their way with it like they were on a wrangle this morning. So Jempty's knocked, and it's from Lions. Meanwhile, rotations from Na'Vi as they're outside of the circle trying to evade Dignitas. They're spotted in doing so, and Andy's got 1 kill already. They're going to have problems. Na'Vi's going to get gatekept. Uncivil and Wookie Bookie already swinging around inside of the circle to hold them off, and the shots continuing to be successful. Wookie Bookie, he's trying to push out. Gustav as well. Uba's down. Pokamalodo is sort of trying to get back toward him, but they know that knock means that they have little available to them, and they'll hear Gustav's feet stomping, heading in that direction. Pokamalodo, excuse me, good positioning, but there's the flank. And exactly that. Dignitas knew the situation, knew they could gatekeep. They'll get in, and they've got plenty of time to get back to the circle. Meanwhile, FaZe have at least revived Jempty.
They have had multiple knocks on them, so they're on the second, maybe even third knock, some of them. We'll see what's going to happen if they go down again. Jazza, though, here, Vitality, great position on the northeastern side of the zone, but they do have to run down towards Penta if it shrinks away for them. We'll see as the circle updates shortly.
Silo as a solo is going to end up snaking this. He just wiped 2 players running in, going past him, and took out the remaining players from Moonwolf. Decent shift. M19 are in a fantastic position on that compound. Knights are trying to transition away from it, but they're stuck in a crossfire. Batulin, here we go. Brought out that M24 earlier. He spots James, who, by the way, has no helmet behind that hay bale.
That's why I want to go to that crate. That crate is not looted yet. It's just next to him. He wants a level 3 helmet to make sure that he can get a headshot from everything else in an AWM, so he can survive it. It's a huge upgrade, making sure that you're not going to get knocked by any shots, of course. And he's making a run for it. James here. He's going to get an M249. He's going to take that. Could imagine. Nope. He's not. He didn't want it. Not enough time to shift to make sure they can drop some of the attachments. Let's see about that. Rift here taking shots at Ghost, though. In a hard position here. They're outside the zone. They have to make a move, and they're actually moving up behind FaZe. So we'll see if Set to Destroy, they're actually able to gatekeep it from them. We'll see about that. Survivors also taking shots at Knights. They're trying to make their way in.
Those are 4 shots.
They're actually in a hard place here. Set to Destroy, they have to cross the road because this shift is not going to stay there. They're going to be having to stay on the high side. And if they shift away from them, they have to cross the road, completely open space, which means they have to run into M19 and maybe even take fire from FaZe from above.
Batulin finally got a shot off. Nailed Sempty. Liquid's been just trying to survive in the middle of the field with everyone around them. Meanwhile, Lions, they're going to push up. It is FaZe that they'll run into. Hexetti's on the other side of the hill, and he's got to try and battle this off with the AK, trying to tap his teammate Fuzz at this point, just trying to keep them alive. Jempty, second knock for him, and Hax, he's just tapping it. He's trying to bait that out to try to hold off, so he's got more time on the revive. He commits to it. Nades won't go far enough. Rezu, that one will just get over the hill, and there's nowhere to go. Hexetti's down, and FaZe is gone 11th. They've barely scraped the backside of the top 10 after looking dominant on Erangel all morning. Miramar's a problem for them. I'm saying it now. It's absolutely going to have to be addressed if they want to win this event outright. Meanwhile, STDX, Survivor, he's found Ghost. They can't get out of the position and back toward the circle. You're right. STDX certainly has to move on the next shift. But M19, Batulin already knocking Liquid for a second time. They're in a perfect position to catch off STDX. Sneaker got a shot from that range. Azrael gone, Lions in problem. This is very good from them, but again, still worried about the shift.
Oh my god, he keeps on snaking here. Look at this. Snakers with lots of shots. Turtle is still alive, but he's going to make a run just towards open. He did smoke a bit. He's got a little ridge to work with, but he's got to run in here. Sonics and Turtle might meet each other. We'll see about that later. Turtle did take him down here, so Lions is taken out on 9th position. Team Gates went down before that. Dignitas has found CeeLo, which was left alive. So we're down to 8 teams. Liquid still in the middle here of this zone, so ultimately they should be left alive. Now Dignitas is going to take down James.
I think that's his third knock. Either way, Gustav's going to confirm it. There's a knock that happened from Batulin again over toward Dignitas. I'm curious as to whether or not Kostanovic, an elite player, are still aware. I'm sure they have to be. That STT, okay, there's the contact. So STDX is still above them on the hill. Scoom just has to play silently. They've had so much circle control, but they've had so much attention drawn toward them that they couldn't do anything with it on the Liquid side. It was almost death by 1,000 paper cuts. They got picked apart. They got knocked. They lost their utility. No helmets, as we saw. Desperate to get toward the crate. There's only so much you can withstand.
This is kind of a typical Liquid play. If they have nowhere to go, they will do a Hail Mary toward the middle of the circle, making sure they can get some cover. But here, not enough cover because you have such an elevated area that everybody's just raining hell down from above. Now, Scoom, though, he's probably going to survive. With this circle, he's probably going to survive, making sure they get into the top 4, maybe even the top 3. So he's just going to lay low, making sure that he can sneak as much as possible. We got Voxic, he's 1 player alive. We got Ghost Gaming, Turtle is 1 player alive. And then, of course, Liquid was 1 player alive. Everybody else is 4 and 3. So M19 Set to Destroy, Dignitas and Penta, They have 4 guys alive. Penta with 3.
Still cars here. If it comes to that for STDX, obviously everyone knows they're up here at this point. Yeah, I'm not surprised to see this. Just get in at this point, because you're right. You have to transition that road. It's not the ideal situation, but they're actually going to use it to swing, and in doing so, they're going to go straight toward Turtle, the last remaining Ghost member. Scoom in the field in front. I'm curious to see if Turtle is already being engaged on, if he even tries to go onto this. They're going to rotate back. I take it back. I thought they were going to go high side and try and avoid M19. They just wanted to get positioned to get closer, but they're caught off. Nades are going to go far enough, and STDX, despite having 4 players just moments ago, are going to get H-bombed as a nade to a car blows up both Snackers. Rifts now down. Snackers trying to crawl back to his teammate. And Fignaldo has very little to work with behind the tree. But Tulin and Konstanovic are looking fantastic. Snacker's now gone. Fignaldo knows the situation. Survivor tries to get inside the smoke. It's gone too far, and I don't think it's going to get the car. So they still sit with 2. But this is an awkward exchange, and M19's only committed half of their players to this. They're still watching for information, specifically for Dignitas's rotation.
Look at this. It's going to be a Molotov coming out as well. It might be okay, actually, on the tree here. And just going to spread just around the edge shot of the... Oh, Kane's going to take down Fignaldo now, so Survivor's left alone. Meanwhile, we did see Ghost go down. Boxic has made it in as well, but he's taking shots as well from M19. Now Box is going to go down. That is Knights out in 6th. And M19 is looking very good. 6 kills already. And they're just trying to confirm set to destroy X here. 5 teams alive, 13 players only. See what's going to happen here. They might have overcommitted to this set to destroy push here. We'll see what's going to happen with Batulin.
That's the only thing that I'm considering here, because Batulin, now the man who's been firing at range, is well and truly overextended beyond the tree. The fact that the res came in and they weren't ready for it, Survivor's got to kill back, and set to destroy in this fight have picked up a top 5 position, because Knights, with Voxit coming in from the east, got caught out. They're going to take Fignaldo out of it, but Tulin gets the res in the knock, but will go down. It's Survivor to get the kill, as we saw just before snapping off. So you're not wrong in saying that I think M19 well and truly overextended it. They've realized their mistake, and they're going to transition back towards Circle, but they couldn't even get the knockout on STDX. They're still in it with 1 player.
Yeah, Dignitas are looking very good. 8 kills on Civil 4, Gustav 2, and Adam 2. Boogie surprisingly with none. Maybe it's because he doesn't have an Khan 98. Penta, though, in the north side, they have to pass through or past Scoom here to get into the next side of the zone. And they're actually like pushing in a very open space. We're just going to see what happened here. Dignitas is in a very good position. They're probably the team closest next to M19 to get into the zone, though. Penta, good high ground on this. Let's see what's going to happen. Scoom is going to just lay low. He's just going to wait.
This is the brown one as well. Car is already blown out. Does that suggest someone's nearby? I meant the brown Billy, that is.
Exactly.
As you mentioned last game. On Civil, still
much
trying
better
to spot Kate.
Much better with the brown ghillie, but as you said, with this car here, they're gonna look for it. They're gonna check. Because it's kind of obvious there might be somebody there. If he was just lying next to a hay bale with the brown ghillie suit, then nothing's gonna happen. They're not gonna even be able to see him probably. Woody or Kane here, trying to make a move. They're gonna bring a bike actually. Oh, this might be dangerous.
This is huge, because Wookie, you called the end net kills yet. From range, he'll combine with Adam to take down Braxku. Now, the fact that this is happening favors Scoom. He doesn't have to do anything in this situation. They might see that car. They might even suspect it if they had the time. The problem is, now that they've been engaged by Dignitas, they're preoccupied. There's nothing they can do. And Scoom, even if they go to the other side of him, as Udyr goes down, Blue's going to catch him out as it pushes through. He's got all the freedom to just wait for exactly that. Penta to be eliminated, 5th place. That's another position for Liquid. Dignitas have already said, okay, everyone on that side's clear. Scoom's back in this. He can snake his way back in. Meanwhile, M19, they've had to get back inside of the circle. They finally get set to destroy X down, but they've got to push directly toward the fact that it's Dignitas with 4 players looking for their Mirmo in second overall in the event, and Wookie still trying to pin down Konstanovic. That's when Scoom's going to go. He's on the move and trying to transition behind them. He is a snake that certainly can capitalize on circumstance. We saw Sampty do it yesterday. Scoom, who is actually deporting Team Liquid, can be their hero, and there's Wookie finally getting on the board. You called him out. No chance that was going to be the case. Oh, Scoom, is he going to be spotted? Wookie's looking for it, and he does. He sees him snaking in. Scoom's done and gone. Good read from Wookie. Excellent positioning, and now it's a chicken dinner. Surely the last of the night going to Team Dignitas.
Step to Nick here. He realizes that it might only be Dignitas because they've been raining hell down from above. We can see what's happening here. Oh, good nade coming in. It might blow on him. Oh, take him down to nothing. And now Gustav is pushing in, and Adam is going to take him down. The winner, chicken dinner. But it's the second Miramar game, and it looks like Miramar is that kind of map.
Absolutely. Second win for them on it. And spotting out Scoom was rather unfortunate for Liquid because he was trying to sneak in and even just outlast and get a second place finish. That is a healthy amount of kills for Team Dignitas, if I do the math correctly. That's 13
yeah, I like
for Dignitas. And remember, yesterday, end of the night, they were leading after the first 6 maps, and not only leading the scoreboard, but leading in kills. So they're putting their best foot forward to take things over. The storyline for me, the takeaway for today, FaZe is dominant and absolutely undisputed the best team in the world on Erangel. I'm putting that stipulation on it. They have to improve Miramar.
They do have to improve Miramar, and with